Right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. Sports station. Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City, a 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game.
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited, thrilled, delighted to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Monday. As you would imagine, we are going to have a different kind of Monday because we are not reacting to a Chiefs game. The Chiefs had a bye week. We will talk a lot of NFL today, but just not a whole lot of Chiefs thoughts because the Chiefs didn't play this weekend. But one cool thing I'm excited to tell you guys about that we are going to have different Chiefs content creators join us on the show today. Coming up in about 30 minutes, my guy Cole DeRoos of How About Those Chiefs is going to join us on the show coming up in about 30 minutes. We'll get his thoughts on the Chiefs as we are in their bye week. We're also going to talk a lot of college football. I think the race for the Big 12 has reached its conclusion. Patrick Mahomes was in Lubbock, Texas for College game day, and I think the Heisman Trophy has been decided. That is not what the public thinks. That is not what Vegas thinks, but I think we know who the Heisman Trophy winner is for this season. I'll tell you who that is in today's show as well. We got a lot to get into in today's show, but I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I would greatly appreciate if you did that. And number three, and most importantly, I need you to remember that the open of the show is brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place. I have developed a little bit of a routine. Every Sunday at around 11:15, I go to one of the local Other Place and get myself a good breakfast. You know, they don't got gambling legal on the Missouri side yet, so I got to be in Kansas. So I go over there, I get myself a nice breakfast, have myself a nice little morning mimosa, place my bets, and get ready for an incredible Sunday of NFL action. I would highly encourage you guys to do that as well. All right, we got a lot to get into in the show today. Let's start with this. As we currently sit here, I think that we know who the 5 best teams are in the National Football League. Now, obviously, this list is fluid. Things can change. But if we are talking about who has been consistent this season, who has put together a resume, who do you believe in so far this season? I think the top 5 teams in the National Football League, they have shown themselves. This is who I think they are. New England, Indianapolis, Philadelphia, Seattle, and the Rams. Now, again, things can change between now and the end of the season. An injury can happen. Maybe one of these teams fade off, and we are having a different conversation in a couple of weeks. But as we sit here and we've seen what teams have done so far this season, I think these have been the 5 best teams so far in the National Football League. I think they have been the 5 most consistent teams so far this season in the National Football League. The Rams are a very, very good team, and we have seen how through the growth with Sean McVay, how they've changed over the last couple of years, but this is still a very explosive offense with the quarterback right now was playing like a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League, a team that can throw it very well, a team that is very young and athletic on the defensive side, a lot of things to like about the Rams. I actually think that Seattle is the biggest surprise in the NFC. If the Colts are going to be that in the AFC, I thought Seattle had a chance to be decent. I don't know if I thought they had a chance to be considered the best team in the NFC, and they are definitely in that conversation as the best team in the NFC. We already know about Philadelphia. At this point, they're a brand name. They've been doing it now for basically 3 years they've done this. They went to a Super Bowl. They've won another Super Bowl. They have been one of the best teams in the National Football League this season. We don't have to spend too much time talking about Philadelphia and what they've been able to do the last handful of years. The Colts, they just continue to figure out a way to win. I understand that Jonathan Taylor is getting a lot of love, as he should, as one of the best players in the National Football League. But you want to know what really impressed me watching them yesterday? It was the drive that Daniel Jones had. I mean, this was a team that was on the brink of losing to the Atlanta Falcons. And Daniel Jones, mouth all busted up, bloody, made a couple of throws, made a couple of plays on a 3rd and 17 where you had to go down the field and get points. He runs for 15 yards and then throws the pass to Tyler Warren to get that game into overtime, and then Jonathan Taylor took over. So we have seen if you can put the right complements of things around Daniel Jones, he can be a capable quarterback. He's shown that so far this season. That was a good win for Indianapolis. And New England, we might need to start having a different conversation about this Patriots team. We know they're well coached. Drake May is playing at an MVP level. They have upgraded the talent on the offensive side. And this defense, led by Mike Vrabel, has been very, very competitive. I have been thinking this entire time that the Bills kind of had that division figured out. But I think we are learning that that is not the case. In fact, I don't think the Bills are winning their division. I think New England is going to hold them off. I think New England is going to do this thing. I think they're going to win the AFC East. So some of the conversations we're having about the Patriots needs to change over the course of the next couple of weeks. And I think we'll get to that point after Thursday Night Football and they beat up on the Jets and then they get an extended time to get back right, get back healthy, and we can kind of see where they settle in the rest of the AFC. But the team we need to be talking about is the Buffalo Bills that had an inexplicable loss to a Miami Dolphins team that appears to be playing out the string the rest of the way. Here is Damian Woody of ESPN.
They've royally messed up their window. They've had the AFC East locked down for 6 years.
Yep.
And they have nothing to show for it. And guess what? You just mentioned it.
Yep.
Here are the Patriots. They're back again. And so you look at Josh Allen. You look at this game yesterday. You heard whispers, oh, it was the Miami Dolphins. This is not a trap game. I'm sorry. Buffalo, you're not even leading the division, and it's a divisional game. You got your butts whipped against the Miami Dolphins that we had written off dead to rights.
Yep.
Fire their general manager.
Yep.
Their coach is basically out the door, and all they did was whip your behind down there in South Beach. This is not a bad game. This is more of a bad sign for Buffalo, in my opinion.
We got to start having some real serious conversations about the Buffalo Bills. The reason I play that Damian Woody audio is because I believe 95% of what he said. Championship window feels closed, seems a little premature to me, but the way that this team is currently playing, it's hard to see how they could win a championship. They can't stop the run. For a Dolphins team that doesn't have their number one wide receiver, whose quarterback threw for 173 yards and threw 2 interceptions, they scored 30 points against Buffalo. Devon A-Chain had 22 carries for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns. You guys said this last week, and I know the Chiefs couldn't fully take advantage of it, but that Buffalo defense is suspect. In Miami, a team who we don't think has nearly the amount of firepower that Kansas City does, was able to run up and down the field. They didn't stop anything that Miami wanted to do. They didn't stop Jalen Waddle, who had 85 yards and a touchdown. They didn't stop Devon A-Chain, who had almost 220 yards from scrimmage and 3 touchdowns. They essentially dominated them with 2 offensive players. So they scored 30 points, and what has been the problem for Buffalo is they just don't have enough things. Miami did a really good job of taking away Buffalo's run offense. James Cook had 53 yards rushing. Josh Allen had 31. So if you're going to get 84 yards rushing from those two and you run for 87 as a team, so they didn't get really anything else from anybody else. And we've known this for a while. When it comes to wide receiver, they ain't got that guy. If Khalil Shakir is your best receiver, you do not have a good wide receiver room. Keon Coleman has not developed to what we thought. Dalton Kincaid went back to being who Dalton Kincaid is. Dawson Knox is the exact same way. They got Jackson Halls. They got another mid-major tight end. Just a mediocre performance yesterday from the Buffalo Bills. I can't put them in my top 5. I don't think they're close to the top 5 right now based on what we've seen talking about consistency. And I will not let anybody talk about that being a trap game. You know what you're up against if you're the Buffalo Bills. And you went on the road and laid an egg, an absolute egg. Buffalo didn't score in the first 3 quarters of the game against Miami. against a team that fired his general manager and against a team that we know is going to let their head coach go at the end of the season. That team just dusted you off when you got everything to play for. If you're the Bills, you haven't afforded the luxury of looking ahead or not taking somebody seriously in 2025. You're in a legitimate fight. Now you are the 6th seed in the AFC playoffs. So if you're not going to win your division, you put yourself in the conversation with potentially Kansas City, with the Chargers, with the Broncos, who could possibly lose their division. We'll see what happens with Pittsburgh or Baltimore. You go from being in a pool where it's just you and one other team. If you can't beat that team, you now put yourself in the mix with 3 or 4 other teams. If there is one thing we can say pretty definitively about the AFC wildcard picture at this point, somebody going to have their feelings hurt. Everybody is not winning their division, and obviously everybody is not grabbing one of those wild card spots. So I'm not here to tell you it's Kansas City, it's Buffalo, it's any of those teams, but I'm telling you that all of you can't make it. The Chargers, the Steelers, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Jaguars, all of these teams cannot make the playoffs as a wild card team. There's only 3 of those spots available, and we will find out over the next 7-8 weeks who's going to grab one of those spots and who needs to start getting ready for the NFL draft. So I've got my top 5 teams in the league. I think it's the Colts, Patriots, Eagles, Seahawks, and Rams. I think they've proven that so far as we are at the midway point of the NFL season based on who they've beaten, how consistent they've played so far this season. And if you're the Buffalo Bills, I've said this all season. If Buffalo squanders this, they will never live it down. This schedule was tailor-made for you to win 13, 14 games, be the 1 seed in the AFC, and go to the Super Bowl this year and finally break through. And you have lost to the Patriots at home. No shame in that, but you got to at least split those games in your division and then to go on the road and not just lose to Miami on a last-second Hail Mary, they beat you. No, they pummeled you. They beat you 30-13 against the Miami Dolphins, a team that at best is going to win 5 games this year. A really disappointing Sunday in Buffalo. Coming up in about 15 minutes, Cole DeRoos of How About Those Chiefs is going to join us on the show. Coming up on the other side, we'll talk about the top story right now in the National Football League. I don't even understand how Brian Daboll was allowed to come back to work. We'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help this patient.
Hi, this is Doug. I'm a patient with Heartland Men's Health. I've been doing low T treatment for just under a year now. I've always dedicated my life to work. I've always found the time to go to gym. I'm 46 years old. My energy level has been on a roller coaster. With work, when we would have like long, stressful meetings, I would notice that I was very exhausted and drained afterwards. And with the low T treatment, I'm not as stressed. I started to feel a lot more level-headed. The roller coaster kind of went away. I think Heartland Men's Health, they really have it figured out. The professional staff, I think it's a wonderful treatment for men of any age. And it's definitely a benefit I'm going to continue.
Thank you. It's true. Your initial appointment includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
If you're a man waking up in the middle of the night dealing with frequent urination, it could be an enlarged prostate. This is Jeff Montgomery. Do what I did. Contact Dr. Brown at Miva Medical, the leader in minimally invasive treatments in Kansas City. Go to miva-medical.com.
At Casey's, when someone asked for a cup of coffee that wouldn't put them in debt, but still had freshly ground beans, rich flavor, and a price that starts with a 9 and ends with a D9 cents, we were too nice to say no. Any size darn good coffee, just 99 cents with Casey's Rewards. Limited time only. See store for details.
Calling all Chiefs fans. You could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Call it in the air. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is a proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Whether you're digging a pond, clearing brush, grading land, or doing demo, Foley Equipment, your local Caterpillar dealer, is your one-stop shop. Buy or rent, Foley has the machines to get it done. Lease the Cat 300.9 mini excavator for just $399 a month and take advantage of other limited-time demo and purchase incentives. Terms and conditions apply. Visit your Foley Equipment location or go to FoleyEQ.com. That's FoleyEQ.com.
It's time for Black Friday, Dell Technologies' biggest sale of the year. Enjoy huge savings on select PCs like the Dell 16 Plus, featuring Intel Core Ultra processors. And with built-in advanced features, it's the PC that helps you do more, faster. Plus, earn Dell rewards and enjoy many other benefits, like free shipping, price match guarantee, and expert support. They also have huge deals on accessories that pair perfectly with your Dell PC and make perfect gifts for everyone on your list. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Now when I say Nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide. Is both. Nationwide. Is both. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For more than 75 years, University of Maryland Global Campus has given you the opportunity to build your next success. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs in career-relevant fields like business, healthcare, data analytics, cybersecurity, and more. Plus, we offer 100% online and hybrid courses, personalized advising, and lifetime career services. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
What's good, y'all? It's Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, Sack Master, and now your host of Free Range. This is where NFL meets real talk. Every week, I'm bringing you inside the game, from locker room stories to league-wide headlines. You want football IQ, locker room insight, and real conversations with the people shaping the league? Welcome to Free Range with Von Miller, where nothing is off limits and every down counts. New episodes every Wednesday. Listen and follow Free Range with me, Von Miller, wherever you get your podcast.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Coming up in about 10 minutes or so, Cole DeRoos of How About Those Chiefs is going to join us on the show today. We're going to have different Chiefs content creators join us on the show and give us their thoughts on the Chiefs as they are coming off their bye week and getting ready for the Denver Broncos. In the meantime, Rob, let's talk about the top story in the National Football League, which is talking about Brian Daboll. Now, forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn, but there is not a single person among us that thought it was going to work out this season for Brian Daboll in New York. You didn't have a lot of talent, and your quarterback options were between Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and a rookie. Now, I don't know how many people had major expectations for the Giants this year. Their over-under in Vegas was 5.5. Now, teams exceed their over-under for sure. I don't know many people that thought that the Colts could maybe be the best team in the NFL, but here we are. But the chance for the Giants was always a very low percentage chance. This is what I don't understand. And if you guys can help me with it, I would really appreciate it. 913-586-7965. Why do these teams draft a quarterback with the number 3 overall pick, number 7 overall pick, and they go into the season with a general manager who is on the hot seat? That's how they got such a high draft pick. A head coach who is also on that same hot seat, sharing it with them. And they just try to start fresh with the quarterback, knowing the moment that something goes wrong, because it's always going to go wrong, they are immediately going to fire everybody who makes the decisions. Why does this happen every single year? Did anybody think that Matt Eberflus was going to keep that job last year in Chicago? When they had the number 1 overall pick and they got Caleb Williams and you're looking at Matt Eberflus, did you guys think, you know what, this is when he turns things around? No, he's not going to turn it around. If you're going to start fresh, then start fresh. Start over. Just press reset. Why do you then spend a first-round pick on a quarterback with the head coach that you know is on a short leash and you're going to get rid of before the end of the season? Why don't you be proactive and do this from the beginning? I mean, the Giants aren't the last team to do this. We know this is going to happen. There's going to be a team next year that has Ty Simpson or Dante Moore or Mendoza, and they're going to have a lame duck head coach. This feels like something the Saints would do. Why do we do this? We knew how this was going to play itself out. Well, now we're here. Jackson Dart got hurt, which, I mean, if you follow Jackson Dart at Ole Miss, I don't know if you guys watch this or not, but they do the quarterback camp still. The Gruden that used to do the quarterback camp for ESPN, he now does for Barstool. And he was telling Jackson Dart, hey, your play style, it is going to get you hurt. You can do that at Ole Miss, and I get it. That's part of your personality. But in this league, they're bigger, stronger, and faster. So we kind of knew some of the risk when it came to Jackson Dart. You kind of knew what you were getting yourself into. Brian Daboll, who's trying to save his job, maybe tries to put him out there because you got to try to win this game. You end up losing this game, which has kind of been par for the course with you. They fire you. It's just a waste of everybody's time. NFL organizations, I beg of you, I implore of you, please stop doing this. When you start fresh next year and you hire a new general manager, in most situations, also fire the head coach. When you have the 7th overall pick and then you get a new quarterback, but your head coach is now heading into year 4 and he's never had a winning season, I'm telling you, fire him right then and there and start over. Rob, why do these teams do this? This is one of the easiest storylines to see it play itself out each and every season.
It makes no sense to me. Now, it's possible. I don't know all the inner workings of every team in the NFL. It's impossible to know that. I don't know what happens with job security and all those things. Like, for when it does happen, you have a coach, you say, hey, we're going to give you one last shot. Obviously, no one wants to be fired. No one's like, you know what I'm excited for? Getting fired. So if you're Brian Daboll, I understand why you're quick to get to Jackson Dart. Why you, despite the injury issues, are still running Jackson Dart the way that you probably shouldn't be running Jackson Dart. And this season, he's flirted with concussion protocol a few different times. I understand that. What I don't understand is, to your point, if I'm the Mara family, if I'm whoever, and I know we're going to draft a quarterback this year in the first round, I'm firing my head coach before that draft. I just am. Look at the Titans. Why was Brian Callahan ever given an opportunity to coach Cam Ward? Why? It wasn't like the Titans were good before, Cam Ward. They were the number 1 overall pick. It wasn't like they were feisty and 7-9. They traded up. Nope. I know that Bryce Young is kind of a roller coaster career. He's had some good moments, he had some bad moments. Why was Frank Reich given the shot to ever coach him? You should just, when you clean house, clean house.
100%.
Now, I imagine these GMs are the ones making the decisions, and these GMs are not going full house cleaning mode because they're trying to protect their job. Because the second story that came out today is, as of now, Joe Sheen, the GM of the Giants, is safe. But he's now on the hot seat, and I could see a scenario where he gets fired.
I mean, he's 100% getting fired.
No doubt. So I could see a scenario where the GM keeps the coach because firing a coach raises alarm bells, and you think we're going to turn around and you convince ownership to just give you more time. It's got to be job security, but logically, if I was an owner, if I was whoever, hey, we have a top 5 pick. Hey, we're the Jets. Are you keeping Aaron Glenn next year to coach Mendoza, to coach Ty Simpson? I think Aaron Glenn's got to get run. I know that Vrabel is a unique situation because Drake May is a second-year quarterback. Robert Kraft and co saw quickly. This isn't working between Drake May and I forget even who it was. Gerard Mayo. They let Gerard Mayo go. See you later, buddy. Sorry, goodbye. That's what you got to do. It's cold, it's harsh, it's calculated, but you can't let lame duck coach quarterbacks.
Coming up in a little bit, Cole DeRoos is going to join us on the show. He is with How About Those Chiefs. In the meantime, let's talk about this fight that continues to exist between Google and ESPN. So for those of you that don't know the backstory, let me give you the real quick backstory. Right now, YouTube TV is the second largest cable provider in America. They are currently not offering ESPN, ABC, Disney, Viacom products. They are at a little bit of a discrepancy about how much Google should be paying Disney in order to have the rights to broadcast those channels. They have been fighting about this for now 2 weekends, last weekend and this weekend. A lot of people thought that the Monday Night Football game that included the Cowboys was going to get a deal done because people, regardless of how you feel, they want to watch their Cowboys. That time has came and went. Now this Monday night, we got a really important Monday Night Football game. It's two of the best teams in the NFC. It's the Packers and the Eagles. We're talking about two marquee storied franchises. One major television market, the Packers, not a major television market, but everyone would agree a true national brand that they have created over the last 35, 40 years or so. People care about these two teams. People care about this game. People really want to watch this game. But the two sides have been unable to reach an agreement. So let me tell you this. Maybe you didn't know this. That's why I'm here to help you. Right now, YouTube TV, they are offering a $20 credit for not having these channels, which is the right thing to do. But you know there's always a catch, right? There's always a catch. You would think that this would just quite simply be an automatic credit, is what you would think. Hey, I pay $85 a month for YouTube TV. Well, because I didn't have ESPN, which is one of the more popular cable channels. I didn't have ABC. I didn't have Disney Channel. I didn't have your incredible library. Now it should just be $65 a month. No. That's not how they did it. They still charged you for the $85, but you have to go on their website and apply to get your $20. Google has really tried to play themselves off like they're innocent in all of this. Hey, we're just, you know what? We're doing our best for our consumers. They've really sold it as Google is trying to pay a fair price and ESPN coming in big bad monster and coming to just take away your football games. Google, you're nasty too. And I think Google's issue, Rob, is for one of the few times they don't really have the leverage in this situation. Regardless of how you feel about ESPN, it's not going anywhere. It can't go anywhere. They have too many things. They are going to broadcast the Super Bowl coming up this season. They have the college football playoff. They have Monday Night Football. So maybe you don't watch ESPN programming. Maybe you don't watch First Take or ESPN Live or any of these other things, right? It is impossible to watch sports without watching it with ESPN. I know it, you know it, and they know it. So right now they're going to Google and they got the gun out and the bag and saying, give me all the money. Google's fighting back, and I appreciate them and understand that they're fighting back. But when you had a chance to really be the good guy, and we all know what's going to happen, everybody is not going on this website to apply for this automatic credit. Everybody is not doing this. Come on now. You know that's the case. How many times have you signed up for the 1 month free trial and then just forgot? And then they charge you the full price anyway. You're like, oh, man. Oh, why didn't I set my timer? I should have forgot. Google is playing off the fact that so many people are quite simply going to forget, and now you can pocket that money. This is nasty work from Google, too. I know they're trying to play this moral high ground like they're the good guy and they're on our side, but no. For a company like Google that is worth trillions, not billions, trillions of dollars, you could just give everybody the $20, right? Just give everybody the $20 or just charge people less for the month. Hey, we normally run your card for $85. We're going to run it for $65 until this thing's resolved. That's all you had to do. But no. Google out here being sneaky. Rob, let me ask you this before our guest joins us on the show. When do you think this is resolved? I only bring this up because we were talking about this. Inspector said, you know what? I haven't missed it that much. I don't think I need ESPN. And then I asked him, I said, do you plan on watching the college football playoff? Because they have the first round of it. They have the second round of it. They have the national championship of it. So, yeah, maybe you're not missing it in the interim. At some point, there's going to be a game that you really want to watch. If you're a KU fan and you want to watch them play North Carolina, or you want to watch them play Duke in the Champions Classic, or you want to watch them play UConn, you have to watch it on ESPN. They really got this thing figured out. Eventually, Google is going to have to bend the knee, and they're going to have to come back to an agreement with them.
I don't know this gets done in 2026. In 2025. I think it's done in 2026. I think, now listen.
I'm telling you right now then, if you were telling me people will not be able to watch the college football playoff, that might be the end of YouTube TV.
I think what's quietly happening, and a top text here says it perfectly. My father broke down and bought ESPN Unlimited so he could watch football. I think that's what ESPN's doing. I don't think they're advertising it. I don't think they're telling people that. I don't think they're having parades in the street about it. But I think what ESPN is doing is twofold. One, they are churning the PR machine to make everyone hate YouTube and Google. And two, they are quietly on the back end getting people to go to ESPN Unlimited. Hey, do you want ESPN Unlimited? There's a solution to your problem when YouTube is at fault. Because Bob Iger, the president of Disney, is going to be on the Manning Cast tonight. You've seen Pat McAfee at every turn. You've seen the College Game Day guys, SVP. They've all put out PSAs. Hey, we want to be on YouTube TV. Contact them. They're holding us back. We want to be with you. As this goes longer and longer, people will break down and they'll buy the ESPN Unlimited app, and ESPN will make their money on the back end. And I think as the college football playoff arises, you'll start seeing advertising everywhere. Hey, if you have YouTube TV, come get the app, and then you'll get to watch our games. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, this has just been going on for 2 weeks, and I just don't think ESPN. I think ESPN is just going to wait YouTube TV out. There is a group of people, a large group of people, that if this is not resolved in a very, very short time, they're going to cancel YouTube TV, and they will never come back to YouTube TV. You will never be able to get these people back. You have already signed them up. For me, I've only had one internet cable provider. I've never used Hulu Live. I've never used Sling or Fubo or one of these other channels. I mean, I'm almost at my wit's end too. Now, I'm a little bit different. I got multiple TVs, so I can just pull it up on the computer or pull it up on the stream. But I told you guys last week, I don't need to go through UFC pay-per-view kind of work or Pacquiao Mayweather kind of work to be able to watch Monday Night Football. That's not what I pay $85 a month for when it comes to YouTube TV. Bro, I just want to watch it. I want to watch it on my television. I want to watch it in 1080p like I pay for. So please fix this. Again, I don't care whose fault it is. I just want somebody to fix it. Anybody. Fix it. Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by a friend of mine. Today, we are going to highlight some of the great content creators out there who support the Kansas City Chiefs. My guy, Cole DeRoos. He is with How About Those Chiefs. Check out his YouTube channel. Cole, how you doing today, my man?
Carrington, what's up, bro?
Doing fantastic, man. Cole, are you a subscriber to YouTube TV?
Yeah, I've been hearing you talk, and it's unfortunate because I tried to watch Monday Night Football last week, and I did not know what to do. I ended up watching it on NFL Plus on my phone because you can only watch NFL Plus on your phone or tablet and watch a game live. So that's how I watched Monday Night Football last week.
So a lot of things I want to get your opinion on. Let's just start with this. I made this list. I think these are the 5 best teams in the National Football League as we currently sit. New England, Indianapolis, Philadelphia, Seattle, and the Rams. Do you agree, disagree? Is there a team outside of my top 5 that you would put into your top 5?
Say it one more time.
The Patriots, Colts, Eagles, Seahawks, and Rams.
Nah, I mean, I'm pretty much right there with you. It's a very weird year. I think heading into the year, we would not have said, yeah, the Colts are going to be a top 5 team. I think we were optimistic about Darnold, but based on how he was at the end of last year, we didn't know that the Seahawks would be what they are now, and I'm happy for him and his resurgence. But yeah, I don't think we would have also had the Chiefs out of the top 5 right now either. So it's a very weird season to say the least.
So I've been asking people this question. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. If you had to set a number between 1 and 10 on the Chiefs winning their division. So 10 is, I am incredibly worried about it. No chance they win their division. 1, you're not worried at all. Where would you kind of set your panic meter? What level are you at right now with the Chiefs heading into this matchup against the Broncos?
Yeah, you should ask me next week, because I think that's going to flip it one way or another. I'm at like a 4. I'm optimistic, but you have to beat the Broncos or your chances are very slim that you're going to win the division for the first time since 2015.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, Cole, as just the Chiefs just always seem to win this kind of game. Like, if you go back to their track record, I don't know if you can find a game in Mahomes' career over the last 8 seasons in which they had their backs up against the wall in the division and the Chiefs didn't win. I know it was a little bit later in the season, but this feels like this game that they went on the road against the Chargers where Kelsey had the walk-off touchdown. That's probably the last time that you were even remotely worried about them not winning the AFC West.
Yeah, and they're coming off the bye, which is helpful. I know the Broncos are kind of coming off a mini bye. Weird game there against the Raiders. You have to win this game, and I mean, that D-line is the real deal. So Josh Simmons will be a big question or a big piece of that if he can play. I hope he can. And then Jawan Taylor with the ankle. I think if you protect Patrick Mahomes in the trenches, he's just shown you time and time again, he can pretty much do whatever if the line holds up and you're coming off of a discouraging loss to the Bills where he was pressured quite a bit. I know a lot of those came after 2.5 seconds, but still, you had Trey Smith not completely healthy with the back. Jawan Taylor left at the end of the third quarter. Simmons wasn't there. You had Jalen Moore. And I think Kingsley even got banged up a little bit. He came back in after just missing out a play. But, yeah, the trenches, that's the key for me in this one.
Right now, we're talking to Cole DeRusse. He is with How About Those Chiefs. Cole, I said a couple of things that I want to see the Chiefs after the bye week do is I want to see them go back to getting Tyquan Thornton involved in the offense. He just hasn't been involved in the offense the last handful of weeks. I also want to see them expand Brashard Smith's role. I know what Pacheco is in this offense. I know what Kareem Hunt is in this offense. I don't think we know what Brashard Smith is, and if they want to try to get more out of the run game, they got to try to get more out of him.
No, I agree with you. Thornton is interesting because Mahomes was kind of forced to look his way a lot. And it was wildly impressive. He was a camp standout, but impressed even more on the field because what Patriots fans told you about Thornton is, oh, he's going to disappoint you in actual games. But he kind of did the opposite. He was phased out once you had Worthy and Rice back. And I kind of agree with you. I think Thornton has shown he's a legitimate deep threat and should be on the field a little bit more. I think his snaps went up last week a little bit too, so I don't know if some of that's just scheme dependent on how these defenses are playing, but agree with you there. And then Brashard Smith, if you're not going to play Elijah Mitchell, we're not sure if Pacheco is going to be healthy or not. Why not give the guy with the most burst and juice in the room a little bit more opportunities? I understand he has 1 year of experience under his belt in college as a running back, but that guy has the most juice, and it's not even close. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I hope we can and hope we do see more from Brashard Smith and Thornton as well.
Last thing here, if I gave you Drake May or the field to win NFL MVP, which side are you taking, Drake May or the field?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, he's on an MVP trajectory. I think if he keeps the pace going, he's got a legitimate case for it. I know I'm not answering your question directly, but it's not even because I have some weird disdain for the Patriots for them scarring me my entire childhood or anything like that. But if he keeps playing at the level he's playing, it's going to be hard to deny him the MVP.
Yeah, I just feel like this is what the league does. Like, he's having a really good season. He's in his second year. If they end up winning that division, he puts up decent numbers. I just feel like there's going to be a push to give him the award.
Yeah, and yeah, I get what you're saying, too, because like Josh Allen, you could have maybe made the case that Lamar Jackson could have had the MVP last year, but yeah, you're right. There's optics involved with the MVP, and even if the Chiefs went on a huge run here and Mahomes went crazy, if Drake May keeps playing at a high level, I mean, Mahomes has already had a couple of those. So yeah, it's very, very well could be the case there with Drake May and the Patriots, and unfortunate that it seems like they have another franchise quarterback after just a few years of what they did with Brady being away.
That is Cole DeRusse for How About Those Chiefs joining us on the show today. Be sure to check him out on YouTube. He is an incredible content creator. Cole, man, I appreciate you.
Hey, man, ever since I was years back just starting my channel, you've always been grateful and jumped on the channel and talked Chiefs with me. So, man, I appreciate you, and I'm honored to be on here.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you, man. That is Cole DeRusse joining us on the show today. Happy to have him on there. Rob, which one would you take? Would you take Drake May or the field right now?
I would take the field because I think Matt Stafford can still win the award.
Okay. Do you think Mahomes can?
No. I think Mahomes' chances are gone. I think Mahomes is not the MVP this year.
I think it's crazy. It feels like so many of these questions about the Chiefs are in a little bit of a standstill until I know what happens on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, I can't say that Mahomes is out of it, because if Mahomes throws 3 touchdowns and no interceptions against the Denver Broncos, I think he is back to being the favorite to win the award. I just think, as much as we talk about this, it is a quarterback plus narrative award. I also think it's a storyline award as well. I don't think that Josh Allen was the best quarterback in the league last year, but it's a good storyline, right? Lamar's already gotten him. We can't give it to Patrick Mahomes. It's his time to win NFL MVP. I would say there is nothing more that the league wants to do than create another new star at quarterback, especially in that next generation. You've already built Patrick Mahomes up. You've built Lamar up. You've built up Josh Allen. This is like WWE. You got to create new superstars. You can't just live off The Rock and Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels. You got to create new superstars. And they are currently in the business of creating one when it comes to Drake May. We'll continue the quarterback conversation coming up on the other side. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there. With information coming at us all day, every day, it's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
You know, there's millions of people without the health insurance they need. I get it. You feel like it's too pricey, a headache to deal with. You deserve something better. And better health. We're on a mission to get everyone high-quality, affordable health insurance. You have health insurance needs. We have plans with low out-of-pocket premiums, with in-network preventive care at no cost to you, and a network of local doctors and hospitals. So if you're still shopping for health insurance, go to ambetterhealth.com/enroll to get your free, no-obligation quote. That's ambetterhealth.com/enroll. For coverage to start January 1st, you must enroll by December 15th. Find the plan that's right for you right now. ambetterhealth.com/enroll. Ambetter Health, on a mission for better. Ambetter Health is the brand name for health insurance products underwritten by subsidiaries of Centene Corporation. Go to ambetterhealth.com to see offerings in your state. This is a solicitation for insurance.
Hi, I'm Nick. And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box so that family memories would be safe and could always be enjoyed together.
And starting now, we're offering listeners early access to our best deal of the year during our $9 tape sale.
1 million families and counting have trusted Legacy Box to convert their aging media because Legacy Box is safe, simple, and affordable.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your videotapes, film reels, and photos aren't protected unless they're on a digital format.
With the holidays approaching, don't wait. Simply fill your legacy box. We'll take care of the rest.
It's the most meaningful thing you can do this holiday season, and the perfect time during our best sale of the year.
Visit legacybox.com/value to get early access to our Black Friday sale and digitize your memories for only $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/value. legacybox.com/value.
This afternoon, expect sunny conditions with a high of 39.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
All right. I can acknowledge that this is one of my soapbox issues. Every person that does my job, or a form of it, has their soapbox issue. Rob, you remember a couple of years ago, we were always advocating for more player freedom. And I would specifically look for ideas and topics and segments that we could just poke at the NCAA. Well, now that the players get paid, I don't bother them anymore. I've left them alone. And I have now moved on to my next cause, which is to expand the idea of the most valuable player. Now, did you guys know that over the last 7 years, there has only been one vote for a player that was not a quarterback in the MVP conversation? It was Cooper Kupp in 2021. Over the last 7 years, only one person who votes on the MVP had the ability to see who the actual MVP was and vote for that person. Now, I understand. Because we call it most valuable and the quarterback is the most valuable position in sports, we just automatically assume that only that position can win the award. I am here telling you right now, I do not care about that, because we all know who the NFL MVP is, and we just need to acknowledge it. It's Jonathan Taylor. Did you guys watch him yesterday? Rob, 32 carries for 244 yards and 3 touchdowns. They won that game, not because Daniel Jones was their quarterback and he played well. They won that game because Jonathan Taylor is on their team. He's averaging 6 yards a carry. He has 17 touchdowns. It's November 10th. We could be talking about Jonathan Taylor scoring 30 touchdowns this season. And you were telling me that we can't see any scenario, any way in which Jonathan Taylor is the most valuable player in the National Football League. Come on now. We got to expand our minds. So if I got to be the only person that stands on this island, I'll do it. I told you guys a couple of years ago I thought Christian McCaffrey was the MVP. It doesn't always have to be a quarterback. Sometimes it's obviously a quarterback. Back in 2018, when Mahomes threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns, it was clear he was the best player in the league. But if I ask you right now, who's been the best player in the National Football League, you wouldn't tell me it's Drake May. It's been Jonathan Taylor. So give him the award. If that has to be my soapbox issue, then fine. So be it. But Jonathan Taylor should be number one for MVP voting right now.
So here's my thing. Isn't that what the Offensive Player of the Year award already is? We already have the award you're discussing.
Who decided this, though? That's what I'm asking. Who decided this?
The voters, when they realized the V in MVP stands for value, and there is no position that carries more value, maybe in sports, than quarterback.
I know,
it's
but
like the Davey O'Brien award
I just feel
now.
like we say this blanket statement, and we're not acknowledging the situation. If you took Jonathan Taylor off the Colts and you replaced him with other good running backs, I don't think they would be in this position. But you could take Daniel Jones off of the Colts and replace him with a lot of other quarterbacks, and they would be in the exact same situation. I think the Colts would be in the same situation if they had Mac Jones as their quarterback or Mike Jones. Who? I think they'd be in the exact same situation. I don't think they'd be in this situation if they took off Jonathan Taylor and put Kareem Hunt there or put Rico Dowdle there. I don't think they'd be in the same spot. So for that team, their best player, their most valuable player has been a running back. He might be the best player on the best team. That's how we usually give out these awards, right? Hey, we're going to give it to the best player on the best team. Well, this season, the best player on the best team might just be a running back. So why is he ineligible to win the award?
He's not ineligible. He's just held to a different standard. It's the standard of you have to be so exceptional that your value somehow shines beyond a quarterback. I also think, we talk about this a lot on the show, MVP is very narrative driven. Why have the Colts, the average person, we don't have to get in the nitty gritty of why the Colts went from laughing stock to good in 1 year. The average person doesn't say, oh, it's, all these elements, the schedule game, this, that, and the other. The average person says their quarterback play improved. So they're not going to say, wow, Jonathan Taylor went from good to great. They're going to say their quarterback play went from just awful, which was last season, to really, really just fine. So he doesn't even get the credit for the turnaround because the average voter points that credit to Daniel Jones. So then he can't win the MVP, which is why Offensive Player of the Year award exists. That's the whole point of Offensive Player of the Year, the best non-quarterback.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's a branding issue then, because it sounds crazy to me that you can play offense, you can be the most valuable player, but then we acknowledge in another award you weren't the best offensive player in the league. It's just goofy to me. Let's fix the award, or let's just start giving it to the right people. You know what? If they had an MVP award for broadcaster, you know who I'm giving it to? I'm giving it to Gus.
Mendoza in trouble. It's out. Touchdown. Wow. A Bronco play. Unbelievable. Did he get his foot down? The ruling of the touchdown. Control. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. It's a touchdown. Oh, my gosh.
I'm not telling you that I think Gus Johnson is the best broadcaster. I think that's Kevin Harlan. But I am telling you that if it is 3 minutes left in a close ball game and there is only one broadcaster that I could nominate to do the call for that game, there's only one person that I am picking. We have heard some incredible Gus Johnson moments. We really have. We are fortunate enough to say that we lived to watch Michael Jordan fly through the air. I've seen LeBron do the chalk toss. We've seen Mike Tyson strike fear into other men's hearts. We also got to live during the period of Gus Johnson. And if you were watching Indiana Penn State, you got an all-time call. That's what you got. That's up there with go crazy, folks, go crazy. That's up there with, do you believe in miracles? Yes. It's one of the greatest calls in the history of sports. That man's a living legend. When you see that play and you hear his enthusiasm, just give him the Heisman. Of course. Absolutely. This show appreciates Gus Johnson. We acknowledge Gus's greatness. A+ call, Gus Johnson. A+ call. He's the best. I'm telling you, there's not a single broadcaster. If it's 3 minutes left and you know it's coming down to the wire, I want Gus in the call over Buck, over Harlan, over whoever you want to suggest. Rob, give me a fired up Gus Johnson and an all-time moment. I put him up against anybody.
I mean, he definitely exudes enthusiasm. I will credit him there because you're right. He did say just give him the Heisman. He also made a lot of noises.
No, he didn't say it like that. You got to say it the way he said. Hold on. I got to play it again. Listen to this.
Mendoza in trouble. It's out. Touchdown. Wow. A Bronco play. Unbelievable. Did he get his foot down?
Oh, you didn't cut the part in where he said, just give him the Heisman.
He's not saying words for a long stretch.
I know, because you want to know why that moment couldn't be described in words. That's why. Somebody said Sean McDonough would like a word. I do like him. I am a Sean McDonough fan.
Sean McDonough is fantastic.
I do like him. He's good.
I think Joe Tessitore is good, too.
He's good.
They always straddle Tess with a bad game.
For sure.
It's like, hey, we got the third level SEC game. Go make it work, Test. You're like, oh, that's too bad. He gets Auburn versus Vanderbilt, but he makes the most of it.
Do you got Harlan number 1 on the power ranking
across all sports?
Yeah, like right now, if they're like if there is a big game and there's only one person you can nominate for the call, I think Harlan's the best person that can do it.
Yes.
You know who I think number 2 is? I like Ian Eagle. I'm a big Ian Eagle fan.
Ian's really good. I think Noah's pretty good too. His son. If we're gonna cross sport, I think Mike Breen is really good.
I'm with you. Bang!
Bang! I think Breen's really good. Yeah, Ian Eagle. You know, under the radar one, Brian Anderson, who does college basketball games. Brian Anderson's good. I think he does something in Milwaukee full time. We actually live in an era where there's a lot of good ones. It's because, sure. I mean, unless you have YouTube TV, there's a lot of sports on television.
You know what, though? They ain't Gus. We're going to continue saluting some of the Chiefs content creators. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 965, The Fan.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Get ready, Missouri. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming soon. Starting on December 1st, new customers in Missouri can get up to $300 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. From touchdowns to three-pointers, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. With live betting, you can even get in on the action after the game has already started. All on an app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. Visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. And you'll be all set to bet when FanDuel goes live in Missouri on December 1st. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game of FanDuel, the #1 rated sportsbook app. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Offer starts 12/1/25. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
It was just last week that 16 new students started their Centric journey. Before Centric, they were in the military, driving delivery trucks, handling package, managing warehouses, so much more, even finance. Now, they're all training for new careers in cybersecurity.
And at Centric, your background doesn't matter. Cody, you listed off some of the backgrounds of the students, but you know what does matter? Your future. And cybersecurity is the future, and Centric can help make it yours. Go to Centric.com, book a call with our friend Russ Mondry today.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbor's attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with autopay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
It's time to build that dream deck over at All Weather Decks. Schedule a free estimate today at 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net. All Weather Decks, the right deck at the right price.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For more than 75 years, University of Maryland Global Campus has given you the opportunity to build your next success. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs in career-relevant fields like business, healthcare, data analytics, cybersecurity, and more. Plus, we offer 100% online and hybrid courses, personalized advising, and lifetime career services. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Brought to you by Gomer's. 5 locations in the KC Metro or online at gomers.com. If ringing in the holidays includes cheers and libations, Gomer's has your back. Voted #1 KC Liquor Shop, they offer a wide variety of beer, wine, and spirits at great prices. Stop by one of their 5 locations. You'll be glad you did.
Listen to the Chiefs and Broncos on Sunday with pregame starting at noon. Kickoff at 3:25 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNZ FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey sports station.
All right, welcome back into the show. Today, we are saluting some of my favorite Chiefs content creators on this wonderful, wonderful Monday. Right now, let's head to the phone lines to be joined by Darrell Wakefield. He is one of the hosts of Kingdom Cast. Be sure to check out their podcast, Chiefs fans. Be sure to check out Kingdom Cast. D-Mac, how you doing today, my man?
I'm doing good, C-Dot. How you doing, man?
Doing fantastic, man. Let me start with this. I want to get your thoughts on if you are a believer or not a believer on a couple of teams. Let's start with the New England Patriots. Are you a believer or a non-believer when it comes to the Pats?
I am a believer that Drake May is going to continue to be one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League moving forward, but I'm not a believer in them as far as the Super Bowl run is concerned because I just think that their defense has too many holes right now.
All right, I'll ask you that same question about the Indianapolis Colts.
Colts have a really good team on both sides of the ball. I mean, when you can run the ball that they can and the way that they can control the game, really it's just about do you keep away from the Daniel Jones disaster plays. That's really what the big thing is. We've seen over the last 2 weeks with the turnovers. He was a little loose with the ball. If he doesn't have those disaster plays, then they're going to be a tough out because of what Lou can put together on the defensive coordinator spot. What he added to their back end, obviously, with Sauce Gardner, and the fact that hopefully they'll get DeForest Buckner back later in the year, and they can do it on the defensive side of the ball in addition to Jonathan Taylor just running roughshod over the National Football League.
The one thing I'll push back on just a little bit, if you say if Daniel Jones can avoid those danger plays, that's what makes him Daniel Jones of those plays.
It sure does. You're not lying. I completely understand it. I'll be honest with you. I thought that they've been an incredibly complete team on both sides of the ball. But, boy, them last 2 games and the fact that he has gotten that loose with the football in a way in which they should not have, it did start to scare me. I saw that look in his eye. That was a little bit concerning.
Last team, the Broncos.
I am not a believer in the Broncos. I do not believe that you can continue to skate by with the offensive issues that they have. They are one of the worst teams in the National Football League as far as offensive DVOA and EPA per play whenever you look at it. Their run game isn't dominant enough to be able to secure that. Now, look, their defense is very good. It is almost the level of, I would say, a Texans defense that you can almost throw a game plan out there that could take out anybody at a given time, and that may allow them to get a deep enough playoff run to get to an AFC Championship game. I don't think you can put that together for multiple games to get to the Super Bowl.
All right, don't come on here now trying to throw out all these acronyms and all these football terms that don't nobody know what we're talking about. All right, let's stay with that because you guys do a great job on Kingdom Cast, kind of deep diving and going through the film. What are you seeing from this defensive line? Because to me, if you were looking at where I think improvement needs to happen most with the Chiefs over the bye week. It needs to happen on their defensive line. The amount of resources that you have spent based on what you are getting as a drastic difference. I thought Charles Omenihu was going to have a much better season, and I don't think we spent enough time talking about it in the offseason, the effect of losing Tershawn Wharton, because we all thought that they could just easily replace those numbers. I don't think they've replaced it, and I think it's had a bigger ripple effect than people want to acknowledge.
I'm really glad that you brought up the resources that they've put into this, because I think that's where you have to start with this. Obviously, the Felix Anduke-Uzomah pick and other maybe circumstances that surrounded that pick went into it. I think that he was a good prospect, a prospect that should have had a greater return, but the way that they handled his development, maybe not the way that I would have loved the way that they were able to develop him, specifically from a speed edge rusher standpoint, to complement what they already had in Karlaftis. Then you go to this past draft. I was extremely excited about the Omar Norman-Lott pick because he was an interior disruptor, the way in which he could quickly penetrate. I thought that he would be a really nice pairing with Chris Jones. Then I was concerned about the weight gain talked about because they wanted to have him more play on 3 downs. He was a rotational player at Tennessee. Allow him to do what he did best there in college. I think that they may have put him in a little bit of a difficult position, obviously with the injuries during training camp and then the unfortunate ACL tear, to where that got taken away. So that's a first and a second round investment of the last few years that's been taken away from you. You mentioned Tershawn Wharton, who was a very underrated piece of this defense the last few years, being in a rotational role and then being their full-time role really last year. And now you look at what this defense is left with. Because Charles Omenihu has never gotten back from that ACL injury, it's a lot of guys that play Spags type of edge, but don't actually get after the passes the way that they need them to. So Chris Jones, who normally is obviously an elite top 5 defensive player, has not necessarily been to that level while still being very good and obviously demanding a lot of attention. You take a little bit of step back there. Karlaftis has been solid, even very good at times, but still not necessarily a dominant one-on-one edge rusher. Now, all of a sudden, you're looking at a whole bunch of role players next to guys that weren't as elite or as good as they had been in the past. And now you're looking at a defensive line that can't get after the passer. Your best hope for improvement, in my personal opinion, is to find a Charles Omenihu to come back over the second half of the season that looks like his old self, or you have to make a call and see if Christian Williams' foot is healthy. Because otherwise, I think that this defensive line is going to continue to be an issue over the back half. It's going to put the offense in a position in which it's got to put up 30 if they want to advance in the playoffs.
Right now, we're talking to Darrell Wakefield. He is with Kingdom Cast, one of my favorite Chiefs podcasts. We're having different content creators come on kind of to recap the bye week. Let's move to the offensive side of the ball. I understand that he has not been a dynamic RB1, but when you're going up against a defense like the Broncos have, I think they need Isaiah Pacheco's 10 to 12 carries just for the balance of it. I think they really need him heading into this game. We've talked about the run game a lot on this show. Where do you kind of sit with this run game? I guess the second part of this question is, I think this offense needs to focus on trying to get more out of Bashard Smith. He has 28 carries so far this season. 14 of them came in the Raiders game, which doesn't really count a whole lot. I don't see a lot of growth in this offense from the run game perspective if it doesn't center around Bashard Smith just being better in the second half of the season and then just using him more in the second half.
I'm glad that you mentioned the both sides of it as far as Pacheco being healthy and then also developing a Bashard Smith. The way I'm looking at this running back room, and obviously this became a very large topic of conversation over the last few days, obviously with the Breece Hall possible trade that didn't end up going through, is, hey, what is this run game doing and is it going to be able to be better here? The reality situation for me, this offensive line, Kingsley Suamataia, obviously with Josh Simmons when it's in there, what you have in Creed and Trey, of course, and Jawan Taylor, they can move people. You just have to commit to it from the standpoint of running the ball with a lot of power and gap schemes that really allows them to move forward on a consistent basis. If you commit to that aspect of it, then I think you're going to see the floor of this run game that for a nice little stretch there, once Xavier Worthy got back in week 3, really up until last week versus the Bills, in which they decided to abandon every single thing that I thought they did well from a game plan perspective, they were a solid run game, and that involved a healthy Isaiah Pacheco, to your point, having those 10 to 12 carries that were nice. Kareem Hunt being one of the most valuable short yardage running backs in football, to say the least, in the way that he can convert. And then Bashard Smith, like you spoke to, having that receiving element that is really nice to either do screens or be able to move as far as the way that Andy Reid likes to scheme those things up. So when those 3 backs are there in rotation, I think they work very well together. And specifically when you're talking about this matchup, versus the Broncos, you cannot be one-dimensional. Their defensive line is too good. They are too comfortable with the ways in which they can scheme the back end. You have to be able to attack them on the ground and be able to stay balanced and ahead of the sticks so that you can create explosive plays over the top. And so if they can't do that, that is going to make their job 100 times harder. So, yes, I completely agree with you. You got to commit there. I would like to see more from Bashard Smith, but he's still a guy that's so young and so transitioning from his limited time at SMU in which he ran the ball well. I think there's more to him, certainly. I'm not going to say he's a gadget player for the rest of his career, but I'm not sure he's got more than that to give as far as his rookie season.
Let me ask you this. Who do you think has a better chance of getting out of the doghouse? Is it Christian Fulton or Elijah Mitchell?
Oh, God. I think that they've kept Christian Fulton just in case for a depth piece, but we now have the answer to, hey, if something bad goes wrong in the running back room, are you going to bring up Elijah Mitchell? The answer is no. Anytime that you're activating CEH in 2025, it means that you're not going to believe in whoever you want to bring into the running back room. That's just a reality situation. They said, obviously, that Elijah Mitchell's healthy. Andy Reid continues to say that he likes him. I'm sorry, the time to bring him up would have been against the Bills. The fact that you activated CEH tells me everything I need to know. Christian Fulton could provide some depth down the stretch if something bad does happen in the quarterback room. I've got no hope, for Elijah Mitchell doing so.
Last couple of things here. How confident are you about the Chiefs heading into Sunday's matchup? My big point this week is going to be this. We have never seen the Chiefs lose this game. If you were telling the Chiefs over the last 8 years in the Mahomes era, they got to have this game, they have won this game 99% of the time. So I'm going into it with that. And just everything lines up. Chiefs off a bye week, hearing this for the last 2 weeks. Like, I expect to see a sharp, very focused version of the Chiefs. Where are you at heading into this matchup, which is the most important game of the season?
Yeah, look, I think that this is one of, if not the most important regular season games of the Mahomes era for the exact reason. They need this, in my personal opinion, to stay alive in the AFC West. So in that aspect, you can't go 3.5 games back to the Denver Broncos and then also having a lesser tiebreaker against so many other teams, and especially them. So as far as my confidence level, this is going to have to be an offensive-led game. The reality situation is they're going to probably put up 20 points, and I know they just had that awful game versus the Raiders. I'm sorry. I've seen what this defense can make other terrible offenses look like at times, so we'll see from that perspective. But 60% would be my confidence level as far as them going into Denver, but I still feel like coming out of the bye week, like you said, the trust that this team has earned, out of the bye week in general, will just be when they have to have these games. I think they'll come out with the proper game plan needed, find that balance on offense that'll lead this team. And I think Mahomes, who has played very well up into that Bills game, will not repeat some of the mistakes that he had in that Buffalo game to be able to pull this out on the road and stay alive in the division.
That is Darrell Wakefield joining us on the show. He's with the Kingdom Cast podcast. Be sure to download it wherever you get your podcast from. D-Mac, I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Always good to talk to you, man.
Absolutely, man. That is Darrell Wakefield joining us on the show. Rob, I wanted to talk about very serious Kansas basketball things. I know you guys played North Carolina, and I guess you're both blue bloods. But if we're going to have a blue blood conversation, it has to include the best restaurant that America has to offer. Now, I've been telling you guys about this place for quite some time now, and I've been telling you about how they're turning things around financially. Yes, America tried to abandon Red Lobster a couple of years ago, but they hired a young CEO with vision, with drive, with ambition, and we have turned this ship around. Now, Rob, do you remember that they had those little seafood boil bags? You remember this, right? They had the little seafood boil bags. Go in there, get you some Cheddar Bay biscuits, get you a little seafood boil, and have a time. Well, I'm here to tell you that, Rob, they are announcing some new flavors over at Red Lobster.
Red Lobster CEO. All the love for our seafood boils inspired us to drop 2 new flavors.
Try our zesty new lemon pepper or combine all flavors for one unforgettable experience.
Real change, real happiness, Red Lobster.
Oh, my goodness. Rob, you telling me they got lemon pepper shrimp over at Red Lobster? Hey, what are you and your wife doing today? Meal on me. I'm treating today. What do they got going on over there at Red Lobster? This is one of the most inspirational stories that we have ever seen. This is basically the theme, the plot of Rocky, an underdog who nobody believed in, who turned out to be the heavyweight champion of the world. Rob, you're telling me that they already got the Cheddar Bay biscuits, melt in your mouth. They already got the great drinks. You were telling me they got lemon pepper seafood boils down there at Red Lobster? I'm going there tonight. Lord knows I can't watch Monday Night Football. I know they got Monday Night Football at Red Lobster. They got to have it on there. Oh my goodness. And you guys have the ability to fix your thumbs, to text in bad things about Red Lobster when they're changing the game? I know you got something negative to say, Rob. I know you do. That's all you got is negative things to say. Don't worry. We'll talk about your basketball team coming up in a bit, but you better not say nothing negative about Red Lobster.
I actually think the lemon pepper seafood boil is an interesting and good idea.
Interesting. It's the best idea I've heard in 2025.
I don't know how lemon pepper goes with seafood. I'm intrigued by it. I will say their other new flavor is just all the flavors. All the flavors is not a flavor.
And we're going to take all the seasonings.
Yeah. If you and me went to go get lunch and I was like, hey, man, can you grab me a drink from the machine? You said, yeah. And you came back and you're like, hey, I got you a splash of everything. I wouldn't have been like, ooh, new flavor alert. That's not a flavor. Everything is not a flavor.
I will say this about Red Lobster. They know their target audience. Hey, we're trying to think of new flavors. Lemon pepper. Brilliant. That's all they had. They had one idea. They had one idea for a new flavor.
No, the other idea was, hey, everything's spilled. Well, hold on. What if we just call that a super flavor? Some of those flavors can't match. Do you really want Cajun and lemon pepper and all the other seafood seasonings, Old Bay, all in one super boil? That feels like a mistake.
What do they say in the South? If I ain't sneezing, then it ain't seasoned. That's what they're trying to do over at Red Lobster. We can move on. It's my responsibility. It's in my contract. When Red Lobster has new information, I have to share it with you. I have to. It's my responsibility to share it with you. All right, Rob. Do you want me to talk about KU seriously or get jokes off?
Because get your jokes off first.
Okay,
let's get them out of your system, and then we can talk about the basketball team.
Kansas is 15-14 in their last 29 games. They're 15-14. You guys are Boston College with tradition in basketball for the last 30 games. You guys are Rutgers with the rules is what you are. Is this supposed to be the mecca of basketball? This is the best program in college basketball. You're a 500 team over the last 30 games? Could never. All right. I got that out of my system. I've been holding that one. I really have. I've been holding that one. You guys already lost the college basketball game. We ain't even really got the season going. You already got a loss? I don't know how you support them. Okay. Now this is serious. I'm not joking. How many good players do you think KU has? And the only reason I ask that is if we randomly just go back and let's say you tell me to pick a year, 2011, and I look at the 2011 roster. I mean, you had 3, 4, 5 NBA guys. I mean, there was a time Thomas Robinson was coming off the bench at KU. Your 6th, 7th, 8th man off the bench was a future McDonald's All-American top player in the country. From what I've seen from KU so far this season, they got 3 good players. They have one possibly transcendent player. Flory is good, and I like the Bryson Tiller kid. I don't love his game yet, but I like him. Watching KU just not be able to just beat you over the head with talent is different for me. It's different for everybody, I think. I remember KU fans used to kind of walk around and would say, hey, your best player wouldn't even start at Kansas. Your best player couldn't see the rotation, couldn't see minutes at KU. That's not the KU that I'm watching right now. Now, they got a lot of young talent, and they have a lot of new guys that we'll see how they'll gel to play together. But this team is centered around Flory being one of the best bigs in the country, which I think he has a chance to be. Darren Peterson being a guy that can average somewhere between 18 to 25. And to me, it's going to be a struggle to find out on a night-by-night basis who you can trust offensively and who's going to be able to consistently get stops for this KU team. That is my early impression watching the Jayhawks.
So to answer your question, I agree. I think KU has 3 good players. I also think it's the second real game of the season. I think there is a thought that a couple of these guys that me and you don't have in the good category can elevate to maybe productive is a level they can elevate to, maybe, good in spots, role players, but they're not right now. Cole Rosario was a kid that was, he moved up a level in high school sports. He was a top 15 recruit for this year. He moved up a level. he looked overmatched at times. Do I think one day this season he might figure it out? Maybe. Elmarco Jackson's coming off an injury. He was a guy who I believe was a top 25, top 30 recruit in his recruiting class. He's battled injury. Is he a good player right now? No. Do I think he could be? Yes. But to your point about back in the day, Kansas used to have their 9th guy was better than some team's front line guy. Isn't that just how college basketball has changed in general? The talent is more spaced out than ever before. Because even if you pick another blue blood, let's pick Duke, for example. Duke had the same situation. There were times when that Austin Rivers team where like Duke's 8th guy would be like the best player on K-State or some other teams, Missouri locally. That's not the case with Duke anymore. That's not the case with a lot of teams. I think NIL has made it so building a super team is just not really feasible. You can just collect only so much talent and your depth gets tested. So, yes, it's affecting Kansas. Their 8th best guy, their 7th guy off the bench is not the quality it was 15 years ago. But that's the sport. I don't see a team, even with how good Houston is this year, even with how good some of those top flight, Purdue, those teams are. I don't think they're deep enough where, oh man, when Houston makes a line change like Kentucky used to do with Devin Booker, they're still the best team in the country. That doesn't happen anymore.
And I think at least for me, I am maybe KU fans are in this exact same boat, adjusting how I feel about Kansas and what my expectations are. Because I went back just 15 years. I just randomly threw out 2010. I'm looking at their roster. Rob, that team had 6 guys that played in the NBA. So Marcus and Markieff, Tyshawn Taylor, who played in the league for a while. Now, Josh Selby ended up getting a very, very small cut. But, we're talking about, Josh Selby at that year was your 3rd, 4th best player, and he's a freshman. That was Thomas Robinson's senior year, and that was also Jeff Withey's year. And that's not even counting Tyrell Reed was a senior, Brady Morningstar was a senior. So your role players, Travis Relaford, guys that you could depend on. Kansas is legitimately, 15 years ago, 8 deep. You could start 5 NBA players, and then you've got really, really good complementary depth pieces behind them. That's not what I see at Kansas anymore. They got one incredible prospect. They got one guy who Bryson Tiller will probably need to stay in school another year or 2. I just don't see him as a one and done. That's perfectly fine. And those are the players that KU used to do an exceptionally job with. Hey, this guy is the 23rd overall recruit. He's not a one and done, but you come here, we'll get your game ready, and now you can make good money playing basketball at Kansas and develop for the NBA. But this KU team, they are legitimately 7 deep. I don't see really anything else outside of the 7 guys that you think that you feel really, really good about. It's going to be a lot of nights in which you're going to need Darren to be really, really special is what I'm seeing.
100%. It was funny. I was texting a friend of mine during the game on Friday night, and he texted me. He goes, the KU plan this year is an NBA player go be special and surround him with shooters. Yes, that is KU's literal plan, which on paper sounds good. And you're right. After the first game, I guess the second game, the first real game, no offense to Green Bay. The first real game, the role player pieces did not gel. But I'm going to give it more time than a 2-game sample size. Because I do think on paper what KU's game plan was in the portal and in recruiting is we got a transcendent talent in Darren Peterson, who, by the way, I don't think he even played well, had 22. He was really...
Which is crazy to say that he didn't play well when he had 22 as a freshman on the road.
I didn't watch every dribble like I did. I didn't think he was great.
I'm just saying is that shows you how good he is just as a freshman in his second game to go on the road at North Carolina, drop 22, and the expectation is, he played all right. He wasn't that great. Yes. But I will say for KU, this KU, you got Princeton coming up on Saturday. Now, they're going to win that game, but you agree. Princeton is a good non-con team to play.
That's a 14 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Princeton is a good non-con team to play. They play Duke, Notre Dame, Cuse, UConn, Mizzou, at NC State. This is really their last gimme game that they have coming up tomorrow against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. After that, they're playing Power 4. So I think we can agree, and this is not me throwing any shade. This ain't going to be a super smooth first 8-10 games for KU. They might end up being 5-3 at the end of this thing. But the hope is once you get past this stretch and then the schedule starts to lighten up and then you get into Big 12 play, you're going to feel like you're tournament tested, where you played either tough environments or you played tough teams. I mean, who's the worst team they played during this stretch? Is it Notre Dame? Is that the worst team they play? And you play them at a neutral site in Vegas where anything could potentially happen in that scenario. So it is going to be a very, very interesting first 10 games for Kansas. The way they scheduled this year, they don't have a whole lot of gimmies early on in this season. They got one tomorrow, and they play a string of 8 consecutive Power 4 schools. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
You don't need to be a financial MVP right out of the gate. At Main Street Credit Union, we're here to coach you through it. No matter where you're at, lining up for your first play or deep in the game, we'll help you move the ball forward. From building credit to launching a business. Because here, it's not just about money, it's about progress and having a team that's got your back. Learn more at mainstreetcu.org.
Football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Whether you're digging a pond, clearing brush, grading land, or doing demo, Foley Equipment, your Caterpillar dealer, is your one-stop shop. Buy or rent, Foley has the machines to get it done. Lease the Cat 255 compact track loader for just $8.99 a month and take advantage of other limited-time demo and purchase incentives. Terms and conditions apply. Visit your Foley Equipment location or go to FoleyEQ.com. That's FoleyEQ.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for
for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/play.
Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Problem coming out of downtown on 35 southbound, the on-ramp from West Penway. Be prepared to tap your brakes there and then continue on towards Shawnee, and that's a stall 35 southbound past Lamar. Off to the right shoulder, a lot of onlooker delay. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I understand that we are talking about something a little bit different, but I think you'll follow this. On a serious note, I'm used to Kansas basketball being in a position where they can run laps around everybody else. I mean, we have seen some Kansas basketball teams that have played in a very, very deep and talented basketball conference where it was not close between Kansas and the second best team in the Big 12. And this was basically the case for 15 years. I mean, there were times where we would argue that KU's second team could finish in 4th or 5th place in the Big 12 because that's how much talent they had. Now, I understand why things changed and how. And I use that as an example. As I'm watching the NFL yesterday and taking a closer look at the AFC, I'm not saying that the Chiefs can't win the AFC. I'm not saying that the Chiefs can't be the 1 seed and get hot and go on a run or go on the road and beat the Broncos. But I do think we can say, at least right now, man, the Chiefs don't really feel very different from any of these other teams. KU doesn't really feel any different than a lot of these other teams. Great coach, some individual talent, but it feels like Kansas is just kind of in the mix with these other teams. I think if we're being clear about the Chiefs, I think they're one of the teams that's just in the mix. Now, someone's going to get hot. That always happens. And that team could very easily be the Chiefs. But we are used to the Chiefs. They're the team that sets the tone at 8-2, 9-1. And you feel like there is a pretty big gap between the Chiefs and whomever you think are the second best team. Because as good as Buffalo has been these last couple of years, there's been a pretty decent-sized gap between the Chiefs and the Bills in the games and situations that matter. How good the Ravens have been, whatever team that you want to say. But as we are now halfway through, I mean, we've seen 10 Colts games, 10 Broncos games, 10 Patriots games. We've got a pretty good feel for these teams. We're more than halfway through with the NFL season when it comes for some of these teams. There doesn't feel like there is any separation from the Chiefs and all these other teams. And I would even take it a step further. I don't know right now if you could put the Chiefs on tier 1, not based on what they have done. If you're putting them on that tier because to be the king, you got to beat the king, and based on their track record and what they've done last year, I'm not going to fight you there. But if we are talking about what you have done in the 2025-2026 NFL season, I think you'd be crazy to have the Chiefs as a tier 1 team right now. They haven't proven that on the field. They'll get the opportunity these next couple of weeks against the Colts and the Broncos to prove they're that team. But based on what they've done so far, the Chiefs cannot sit in that tier that we talk about all the time in the National Football League. They can't right now.
I love this comparison between Kansas basketball and the Chiefs. And to further it, I'll kind of say with the Chiefs the same thing I said about KU a little bit ago. With KU, it feels like there's no truly great, oh my God, there's so much talent, it's coming out of their ears team. I think there are teams that are better than KU, but I don't think there's ever a team where you're like, oh man, they just have so much more talent. That's how about the Chiefs. Yes, they are not tier 1 right now. You can't put them on tier 1 unless you're like a, dyed-in-the-wool Chiefs fan who sees everything through red and yellow glasses, maybe. But the Chiefs have not done anything on the field this year to really, really earn tier 1 status. But at the same time, it's not like anyone on tier 1 I think is just massively more talented than the Chiefs. Like, if the Chiefs and pick a team on tier 1, the Patriots, played on a neutral site tomorrow. I don't know the Chiefs would win that game. I mean, I think it'd be a good game, but I don't think it's because the Patriots are just so much more supremely talented than them. I saw the Chiefs and Eagles play this year. Now the Chiefs didn't have Rashee Rice. You probably have the Eagles on tier 1. I don't think the Eagles are just way more talented than the Chiefs on tier 1. I think the Chiefs are objectively not on tier 1, but I also don't think their talent is that far behind. The gap is pretty thin between them and wherever you have someone on tier 1.
And to continue this analogy, and I think you'll follow it here, I think you'll agree here, I would be surprised if KU ends up as a 1 or a 2 seed. And that was a foregone conclusion for about 15 years. Kansas was going to win their league, they were going to dominate their non-con, and they were going to be in a position where they are potentially the number 1 overall seed where you get to dictate where you go. Well, if you're telling me that the Elite Eight's at Sprint Center, well, we know KU's going to be there, where their path was Omaha, Kansas City, or Wichita, you get the point that I'm making. If the Chiefs lose this game, for the first time ever, we are going to talk about the Chiefs like a team that needs to get hot and get right in the second half of the season, and you don't want to play them. That's how you usually talk about the 5 seed in the NCAA tournament. That's how you talk about the 6 seed in the NCAA tournament. Well, if we get the right matchup, that's how we talk about that team. You got talent. You're the 4th or the 5th seed. You got a tough 12 seed. But if the bracket breaks your way, then you can find yourself in the Final Four. That team pops up every single year. If the Chiefs are 5-5 heading into week 11, if they lose this game, and they are a 500 team, and we are about 2/3 done with the season, that's how we're going to talk about them. Can you get hot? Can you get right? Can you sneak into the playoffs and be the 6th seed and then be the team that nobody wants to play once the bracket comes out? We have never talked about the Chiefs like that team. We didn't start talking about KU as this team until 18 months ago. It'd be crazy to suggest this. They've always been considered one of the favorites. If the Chiefs lose this game on Sunday, you cannot consider them one of the favorites anymore, not when there are teams that are 9-2 and the Chiefs are sitting there at 500.
If the Chiefs lose on Sunday, and we're going to have a lot of time to talk about this game between now and Sunday, I don't know the Chiefs are going to lose, but if they lose, people are going to look at them the way they look at that Packers team that won the Super Bowl, and they were the one Aaron Rodgers won. You'll remember the Packers had to go on the road every single postseason game that year. Aaron Rodgers went on the road, played the Eagles. Now, that wasn't, the Eagles. It was a good Eagles team, but not great. They went on the road, played an upstart Falcons team. They went on the road, played a division rival against the Bears on the road. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, people thought they were better than the 6th seed in the NFC, and they had to go on the road 3 times in the Super Bowl. They did it. Congratulations to them. It was, 15 years ago at this point. But that will be how the Chiefs are talked about. Hey, it's really difficult to go on the road 3 times, but we've seen an elite quarterback do it once with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe we'll see it again with Patrick Mahomes. That is going to be the conversation. The same way, college basketball fans, when their team is that 5-6 seed, well, if things break right, we could end up in the Elite 8. That will be the Chiefs' conversation. Well, they're a spicy 6 seed, and you don't want to face them, but 3 road games is a very daunting task. That will be the pivot in conversation after 1 loss.
Yeah, and, if the Chiefs win, so on the other side, they win this game, then it is the king stay the king, right? You win this game, you are 6-4, you got the Colts at home, you then got a game against the Cowboys. I would say you come out on the other side and you feel really, really good about the Chiefs. And then it's about them getting their swagger back, you dominating December, taking care of the AFC West, and you can find yourself right there. To the point that you just made, because there isn't a great team, it also puts you in a really good spot where if you get back, get healthy, and get right, and you're a 12-5 team going into the postseason, I don't really care if Denver has a better record than you or if the Colts have a better record than you. The perception is going to be that you are the better team because of your championship level experience. That is going to be the feeling if that's how things turn out. I don't care what the Colts do. If the Chiefs are a 12-5 team, and let's say the Colts go 14-3, for example, the Chiefs will be favored in the AFC Championship game regardless of where that game is played. They're the Chiefs, and you're the Colts. That is how the feeling would be. So that's why looking at this, the Chiefs are at a crossroad in their season. That's really where they are. We know what one path looks like. One path is continuing what we've been doing. That's what it is. Continue what we've been doing. For the most part, for the last 5 to 6 years, sure, there have been pockets of panic, but there has always been you got 15, you got Mahomes, we always figure it out. So I don't care if you get down by 10 in the Super Bowl or this thing happens, We always figure it out. So I would say things just stay the same if they win this game. And that's a great thing. Everybody has enjoyed the way that it's been. If they lose this game, there will be some incredibly nervous times. And for the first time in the Mahomes era, we will have a conversation about what if they don't make the playoffs. We have never entertained that. It has been laughable to have that. You can't talk about the Chiefs properly if you don't have that conversation if they lose this game next week at 5-5 in week 11, especially with how the rest of the AFC looks. You're going to be behind a lot of teams and really, really need to do some work if that's the case. And you guys are talking about tiebreakers you don't have. You don't have the tiebreaker against Jacksonville. Right now, you don't have the tiebreaker against the Chargers. They have 2 wins up on you. Like, there's going to be some math and things that come into play if they lose. That's what I'm saying. Like, we know what's behind both doors. One door, it just maintains the status quo that we all have enjoyed. The other side is a place that we have not been at any point since Patrick Mahomes has taken over as the starting quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. Rob, there was a lot of college football this weekend. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, his alma mater, I think they've clinched the Big 12. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, folks, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Many men remember their first time. Not that first time. I'm talking about the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined that special moment. And if you're over 50, then the chances are then you've experienced this before. That first time can be frustrating. It can be a little bit embarrassing. But here's the good news. At Heartland Men's Health, that first time can also be the last time. Heartland Men's Health specializes in treating ED when the pills and herbals fail. With a success rate of over 90%, many men see results just after one visit. So your first visit is just $99, which includes a consult, lab work, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. So don't let ED define your sex life. Call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. You can also stop by and visit any of the 3 area locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Be sure to stop by Heartland Men's Health.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. Choosing the best doctor for your eyes is one of the most important medical decisions you'll ever make. Whether you're considering blade-free LASIK, all laser cataract surgery, and premium lens implants, or want a world-renowned doctor to help with your glaucoma, macular degeneration, dry eyes, or diabetes, trust my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein. Call Silverstein Eye Centers to make an appointment, 816-358-3600. Experience the best eye care in Kansas City.
Read all about it. The Fed just cut interest rates again, and that means now is the time to refinance with Golden Oak Lending. Lower rates mean lower payments, and our customers are saving hundreds every month. Plus, you can make no payments until next year. And if your loan doesn't close, we'll pay for your appraisal. Call 913-890-GOLD today and start saving.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS number 114937.
Hey, Kansas City, this is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect, our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. Today, I'm here to tell you about an exciting offer for the remainder of the month. While supplies last, Victory is offering 3 ways to save on all remaining 2025 Ram half-tons, the winner of the coveted Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Here's how it works. You get to pick from 3 great offers like $5,000 off and 0% for 72 months on all remaining 2025 Ram 1500s, or $11,000 off and 3.9% for 72 months, or an astonishing $16,000 off with standard financing. Folks, it's no secret, it's been the same for years. The best time to buy a new pickup truck is during the model year-end closeout. Business owners, come see us today and ask about additional year-end savings from Ram exclusively for you. Supplies are dwindling fast, so hurry in and take advantage of this offer. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers, all so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/play.
Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Problem coming out of downtown on 35 southbound, the on-ramp from West Fenway. Be prepared to tap your brakes there and then continue on towards Shawnee, and that's a stall 35 southbound past Lamar. Off to the right shoulder, a lot of onlooker delay. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
I want to go back. Oh my goodness, something fell out of the chair. I scooted up in the chair, and the chair started scooting back. I'm like, oh boy, I was about to be on the video too, falling. I got fearful. I saw my light flash before my eyes. I'm not going viral for that. Radio host falls out of chair mid-segment. No, I didn't. I had to catch myself. I'm sorry. For those of you on YouTube, you saw it. I almost fell. I almost hurt myself. All right, let me play this for you. This is Gus Johnson. Gus Johnson, he almost hurt himself.
Mendoza in trouble. It's out. Touchdown. Wow. Oh, my Cooper. Unbelievable. Did he get his foot down? The ruling of the touchdown. Control. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. It's a touchdown. Oh, my gosh.
I went on FanDuel, and I was just curious. I really was. I was curious. I couldn't believe that Fernando Mendoza wasn't the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. Rob, when is this Julian Sayin conversation started? Now, I'm not saying he's not having a great season. He is having a fantastic season. But it kind of feels to me like Ohio State's kind of been out of sight, out of mind. Have they had a big game since that first game of the season? Like, they had the first game of the season against Texas. We had that circle, wanted to see Arch, Horseshoe, defending national champion. Since then, I mean, I just feel like they've just been good. They've been Ohio State, but they haven't. Have they had a moment? Can you think of a Julian Sayin play this year? I'm surprised right now that he is the favorite to win the Heisman when Ty Simpson has made some big-time plays. That throw that he made against Missouri on 4th down, that is a Heisman go-get-it on the road play. Fernando Mendoza, I would say that he just had the moment of the college football season. Indiana is down 24-20 with 1:51 left on the road. Now, I know Penn State did not turn out to be the team that we thought they were going to be, but you're down on the road, conference game, and there's 90,000 people that want to see you fail. They went down the field 10 plays, 80 yards in 1:30, and he throws a game-winning touchdown pass. How is that person not the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy? If I had a vote, I got to figure out a way to get a vote. We got to figure out a way to get a show collective Heisman Trophy vote. I would have Fernando Mendoza 1, Ty Simpson 2. I don't even know if I would have Julian Sand to be third on my list, if I'm being completely honest with you. I really think he's just been kind of out of sight, out of mind. I don't think he has a lot of big plays or moments so far this season.
I totally agree with you. We get these emails from Bet Online and all these, gambling services. They're like, oh, here are the updated, odds for this and odds for that. And I read the thing. Julian Sand remains a slight favorite, and I didn't understand the why. Like, he's plus 150 to win the Heisman? What has he done this season? Like, I get that they're Ohio State, they're undefeated, and they might be the best team in the country. I kind of think they're largely untested, but they might be the best team in the country. Good for Ohio State. But nothing about his game this year has been like, oh, man, Julian Sand. Like, I think Mendoza's been better. I think Simpson's been better. I think the kid at A&M, Marcel Reed.
Yep.
I'm not saying he should win the Heisman. I would have him ahead of Sand. I know that Diego Pavia is kind of now falling outside out of mind.
I feel like Pavia should be invited.
He should be invited. He's had more moments this year than Julian
100%.
Sand. And I know that you want to change the MVP. If you want to change the MVP, let's change the Heisman. Jeremiah Love having another incredible season at Notre Dame. Like, no disrespect to Julian Sand, but he is not a Heisman contender. He's going to be draft pick one day. He is the quarterback of the best team in college football. Like, there are good things about Julian Sand. He's not a Heisman guy at this point.
Yeah, I was very, very surprised to see that his name was number one leading the Heisman Trophy, and I wouldn't vote for him right now if I had a vote. Let's continue the college football conversation. I think the Big 12 is over. Do you think it's over? Texas Tech is the best team in the Big 12. I think it is clear, hands down, that is the case. They've already beaten Utah earlier this season, and they've beaten BYU. Texas Tech is the best team in the Big 12, and they should represent the Big 12 once we get to the college football playoff.
I 100% agree with you. I was telling you last week, I was screaming for anyone to hear.
You did.
Head to FanDuel, take Tech minus the number. They're going to thump BYU, and they did. Here's my question. I agree with you. Texas Tech's the best team in the Big 12. Go ahead and put them in, write them down, and pin for Arlington. If they go the Big 12 title game and they somehow get upset, Utah gets them, or BYU, they have a bad tournament game, whatever, and they're a two-loss team that doesn't win the league, what do you do with them? Because I think Tech's a playoff team no matter what at this point, unless they lose in the regular season. But
I think, I'm with you. Texas Tech has proven that they're one of the 12 best teams in college. But I guess I would argue.
Are they going to get punished for being the Big 12, which is not considered the premier conference in college football? I don't know how this is going to work if the playoff gets closer.
I mean, isn't there a precedent for this already? I mean, didn't this exact same thing happen? We saw Clemson lose in the ACC, or SMU lost in the championship game, and SMU still made the college football playoff. So if the argument is going to be that last year SMU was a college football playoff team, I don't know why Texas Tech in this scenario, especially when the ACC is not getting multiple teams. They're getting one team, and they should be lucky that they're getting the one. I mean, Virginia was ranked in the top 15. Virginia got beat 16-9 by Wake Forest at the crib. The fact that team can make the college football playoff, that we could be in November and you could lose a home game to Wake Forest and you still got a shot to go to the college football playoff is sick to me. And then Louisville, another good team. Louisville, you got beat at home by Cal. You telling me they flew all that way to come over there, give the beats, and they flew all that way back. The ACC is bad this year. Miami isn't the team we thought they were going to be. Florida State got out to the hot start. They have now fizzled out the rest of the way. So if the ACC is only going to get one team, that opens the Big 12 up to get whether it's Tech, and that's the only team that they get, or if Tech gets upset and let's say BYU beats them, I would then say that Texas Tech deserves to be one of the 12 teams to go to the college football playoff.
I think Tech, talent-wise, is 100% in. They might have the second-best defense in the country. Like that, they bought it. It's paid for. Good for them, but it's crazy good. It is a scenario as a Big 12 fan I wonder about. If, they get tripped up in the title game, not in the regular season. They lose in the regular season, a different conversation. Like if they lose to, I don't know who they have left in their schedule, but if they lose like Oklahoma State, okay, obviously different conversation. But if they lose in Arlington to Utah, and now Utah's in and they're out, what are we doing? Like, and if Notre Dame makes it in over Texas Tech, if they get to 2 losses, I'm going to, as a Big 12 fan, be really mad on that day.
Yeah, I also just think, I think we're getting pretty close to a scenario in which some of these conferences are just not going to play in the championship game because it ends up hurting them for the reasons that you meant. That if we just stopped it at the end of the regular season, Texas Tech would be in. It's not like Texas Tech can just say we're not going to show up for the Big 12 championship. I think that's going to be the argument that the committee really starts to follow going forward, whether playing in your conference championship game should be able to hurt you and then move you out of the playoff, where a team that wasn't in their conference championship game is then able to leap past you because you had a better season than them. So I think that's always something that you're going to run the risk of. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined by Jason Dunn. You guys remember him, Jason Dunn. He is the co-host of the Chiefs Concerns podcast. We're going to get his thoughts about the Chiefs. They are coming off the bye week. That's coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
We've got a stall 35 southbound the on-ramp from Fenway coming out of downtown, and that explains part of the backup. And then, Shawnee, you've got 35 southbound past Lamar. That's a stall off to the right shoulder. A lot of onlooker delay, and I see a lot of red. Be patient. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, Zach. Are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's country song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you'd find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
We are on a mission to get everyone high-quality health insurance and better health. We have plans with low out-of-pocket premiums. For coverage to start January 1st, you must enroll by December 15th. Go to ambetterhealth.com/enroll for your free, no-obligation quote. That's ambetterhealth.com/enroll. Ambetter Health, on a mission for better. Ambetter Health is the brand name for health insurance products underwritten by subsidiaries of Centene Corporation. Go to ambetterhealth.com to see offerings in your state. This is a solicitation for insurance.
Does this sound like you? Every step or reach is a reminder of what hurts, a reminder of what you can't do. But I've got good news for you. Relief is closer than you think, and it doesn't have to come from a scalpel. What if it could come from you?
At QC Kinetics, we tap into your body's own regenerative power using natural healing factors that help restore and repair damaged tissue, reduce inflammation, and relieve the pain at its source. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. Just your body remembering how to feel alive again. And this Veterans Day, QC Kinetics is giving back to our heroes. Veterans will get $500 off their treatment, and for every non-veteran who starts care, QC Kinetics will donate $500 to the Wounded Warrior Project. So now's the perfect time to book your free consultation with Saturday appointments to fit your schedule. Call QC Kinetics today, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, QC Kinetics.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we are improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
It's time to build that dream deck over at All Weather Decks. Schedule a free estimate today at 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net. All Weather Decks, the right deck at the right price.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for client betrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Listen to the Chiefs and Broncos on Sunday with pregame starting at noon. Kickoff at 3:25 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNZ FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
Today, we've been celebrating some of my favorite content creators who cover the Kansas City Chiefs. We had How About Those Chiefs join us on the show. We also had Daryl Wakefield with Kingdom Cast. And right now, we're going to head to the phone lines and be joined by Jason Dunn. He is on a podcast called Chiefs Concerns. Jason Dunn, how are you doing today, my man?
What's up, C-Dot? How you doing, my brother? You doing all right?
Doing fantastic, man. Let's just start with this. You played in the NFL. You were a great blocking tight end. Who was the hardest guy to block?
Who was the hardest guy to block? I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I blocked a lot of guys, man, in my 11 years. So my rookie year, I had a gamut of Reggie White, Bruce Smith, Charles Haley, Charles Mann. I mean, you name it, the Bills defense. I mean, everybody. And so that's what I was looking at every week in and week out. Kevin Green, I mean, Greg Lloyd, I mean, you name it. So I've had the best, trust me, I've had the best guys I had to go against. If you don't want to name the best tight defensive ends, I've went against a whole lot of them.
There was a video that came up on my TikTok page a couple of days ago with Reggie White. Never seen somebody. He used the offensive player as like a weapon and threw him into the quarterback to slow him down and then tackled him. I'd never seen a person do that before or since.
Oh, completely destroy guys. And that's what I was looking at. I had him on Monday Night Football, and that's what I had to see doing the scouting report. The video that you just watched, that's what I had to see all week. And so you best believe I was petrified for sure. So
right now we're joined by Jason Dunn. He is the co-host of the Chiefs Concerns podcast. All right, Jason, let's start with this. We have seen 9 Chiefs games so far this year. What stands out to you? What are you seeing from this team?
You know what? I'm seeing a lot of mistakes in certain areas. But I am seeing a lot of good stuff offensively and defensively that I think that we can definitely hang our hats on and grow from our 5-4 record. I think mistake-wise has been a little bit more on special teams. I want to see our special teams do a lot more better job, more consistent job. This second half coming around offensively, same thing. I think we got weapons all around, weapons galore. And I think part of our problem is we're just not running the football enough, and we're not doing it efficiently. We just need to do a much better job blocking up front from our O-line. They do a great job in pass blocking. And so I think that's one of the things we built on offensively is in the run game. Defensively, I think when we attack guys, Spags does it. He's the best defense coordinator in the league, no question about it. Once he starts to attack, it's hard to stop us. We do a great job making sure, guys don't get past us. We try to keep everything in front of us. When we run man, when we're aggressive on the outside, that's when we play our best ball and bringing pressure too. So I'm looking for more of this the second half of the season from just this organization. But that's what I've been seeing so far, C-Dot.
Right now, we're talking to former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn. He's the co-host of the Chiefs Concerns podcast. You mentioned running the football. That's something that we've talked about a lot on this show. It feels like it's a chicken or the egg argument. Do you think that the Chiefs don't run the ball a lot because they don't trust their running backs? They don't trust their offensive line? Is it more of an Andy Reid philosophy? Because a lot of people have noticed what you've noticed when it comes to this team. Why do you think they have struggled with the rush attack this season?
I mean, I think it's a combination of things, to be honest with you. It's not. I don't think it's a question of trust. When you look at some of the grades, when I do a grading show, actually on Mondays, tonight I have one for my Chief Concern show, and I break down the film. I go through and I give each and every group a grade. I think our offensive line has been somewhat average on blocking. Haven't been really consistent like they should be. With the guys up front, they've gotten better going through the season. But I think part of the problem is when you have them pass blocking the majority of the time, it kind of softens guys up. Me being a guy that's blocked a lot in my life, I know when you're sitting back all the time on your heels, you're catching people and you're not necessarily attacking. And I know those big boys up front, when we talked about Josh Simmons, when he's going to be back here, King Suma, Creed, Trey, Juwan, those big guys want to go and hit something. That's what they want to do. They don't want to catch all the time, but this is what they're being asked to do. And I think that's part of the problem is because it is Andy's philosophy because we do have weapons. Like I said before, we got weapons all over the place. Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy, Rasheed Rice, Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyquan Thornton. I mean, you name it. We got weapons everywhere. And so you only got one football. So what do? You got the best quarterback in the league in Patrick Mahomes. He's got a cannon for an arm. He can make any throw that was invented or even thought of. So you want to hang your hat pretty much on throwing the ball. And I think it's part of the philosophy. I think, going forward to win more of our games that we should, some of the games that we lost that we should have won, probably should have been running the football a little bit more efficiently, and we just didn't do it. We just kind of got away from it. So I think it's part of our Achilles heel, but I think Andy kind of realizes there was a moment, Bill's game in particular, which probably should have taken advantage of running the football more than what we did. I think it was a missed moment. I think Andy understood that. In a way, he was talking about putting guys in a position to make plays. And I think that goes and includes with our running backs. Now, obviously, Pacheco's out, but Kareem Hunt has been doing an amazing job, I think. Bashar Smith, I think, deserves a little bit more carries, gets featured a little bit more. We see him being explosive in some games. I think we should try to see what he can do, put a little bit more on him. I know CH, kind of came out, got a couple of carries last week, but also, too, you got Elijah Mitchell. I think he's not hurt. I think his girlfriend said something about that, and I think she was a little bit upset. But I think those things, man, to be honest with you, it's just a combination of things, man. C-Dot, to be honest with you, is why we're not just running the football efficiently like we should.
Right now, we're talking to Jason Dunn. He is with the Chiefs Concern podcast. You guys remember him. He played tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Jason, if somebody asked you what it's like to play for Denver, what it's like to play in Mile High Stadium, what story would you tell them?
Oh, man. I tell them, try to find air wherever you can. That's what I would tell them. If you could get oxygen when you're out there in Denver, please hold on to it because it's a precious commodity. And every time I've gone out there to Denver, it's always been a hard-fought battle just to keep that oxygen in you. And I know these guys do a little bit more of the training, that you need to be out there, but it's still tough. So that's why I would tell everybody, if you had anything to worry about and think about, it's always trying to get your air and your oxygen when you're playing. Always a tough thing.
Jason, a couple of teams I want to get your thoughts on before we get you out of here. If you're a believer or a non-believer, the Indianapolis Colts, are you on board or not?
In Indianapolis Colts, I am a believer. I think they got a great dynamic. They got a good running back. Well, leading running back in the league right now. Daniel Jones has kind of came back and reinvented himself somewhat. He's got good receivers around him. He's got a great tight end. They got a good offensive line in front of them. Then you go on the defensive side of the football. They look good on the defensive side of the ball. They just got Sauce Gardner there, too. I am a believer. They are a very formidable foe. I can't wait to see when we play them in the next couple of weeks.
The next team I want to get your thoughts on are the Patriots. I feel like, and maybe this is just me, I haven't spent a lot of time talking about the Patriots. I thought that the Bills were going to win that division. After watching the Bills get beat down by the Dolphins and watching the Patriots go on the road and beat a very good Tampa Bay team, we got to start talking about the Patriots like maybe they're the best team in the AFC.
Oh, my gosh. Wait a minute. See, Doc, hold on now. Let's take it easy a little bit. I wouldn't say they're the best team in the AFC. Now, what I will say is I think it's a little bit fool's gold what they have. Drake May is an amazing player, okay? He's a quarterback that I think is one of the top ones in the league right now. But, he's always had that ability to him. The other things I'm a little bit, kind of critical of. I don't think that they have everything there. Grable obviously does a great job coaching, but I think, man, that they'll start falling apart soon after. But I think they'll probably make it to the playoffs, man. But I don't know if they're the best team in the AFC. I would reserve that statement, at least for myself, for quite some time.
Who do you think it is right now? You think it's Denver, or are you just waiting to see if Kansas City is going to wake back up?
No, I think right now, to be honest with you, I think it's the Colts. I really do. From what they played and what they've shown, I think they've done a good job. I think, if anything, they would be more of a team that I say matches up with us well, okay, as opposed with the Pats. I think the Pats is, like I said before, there's a team I think that we could definitely eradicate if we played them. So I just do believe that the Pats are a little bit of full gold right now. So.
And that makes perfect sense. Right now we're talking to Jason Dunn here for a couple more minutes. I'll get you out of here with this, Jason. I'm looking at this game coming up on Sunday against the Broncos as, to me, the Chiefs are at a crossroads when it comes to their season. One path keeps things basically how it's been. They go on the road, you beat the Broncos, you're 6-4, you come back home, you got the Colts, and everybody's confidence is back. You just went on the road, you beat the top dog in the AFC, you stole home field from them, and now you got them on the get back, and you also got the Chargers on the get back in the second half of the season. Everybody's going to be fine after that. If the Chiefs lose, and we're talking about they're 5-5 at week 11 of the NFL season, you're 4 games back of the Broncos, maybe 4 games back of New England. Like, we're going to start talking about the Chiefs like a wild card team, and we've never talked about the Chiefs that way during the Patrick Mahomes era. That's kind of where I am heading into this matchup, that we know both of the options. We know both doors. We're just trying to see which one the Chiefs are going to walk down.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'm always going to defer to the guys that got Super Bowl rings and playoff experience. That's what I always defer to. And I know that listening to Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, Andy Reid, those guys are coming back focused. I think they understand 5-4 is unacceptable for them where they are. I think that Denver is a very good football team. They got a very good quarterback, but I just don't think they have enough for them to beat us. I think we went out against Denver. Like I said, I think if we get past these next 2 games, which I think we will, Denver and Indianapolis, I think we went out. I really do. I think the very end of the season, you could probably rest some guys against, the Raiders if you need be. But other than that, man, I think Denver probably, like I said, the Colts is probably going to be our most formidable foes at this moment from what I'm looking at. Everybody else we should really beat handily. I know that, and also, too, if we're thinking about, the Chargers again, Chargers have, been bit with injuries. I just don't think they have enough. They're not quite there yet. So should have beat them the first game. Same thing. I think we were the first game of the season kind of off a little bit. But C-Dot, man, I do believe that the Chiefs have the ability to win out the rest of the way.
And that is our guy, Jason Dunn, joining us on the show today. He is the former Chiefs tight end. He also is the co-host of the Chiefs Concerns podcast. Jason, you had me on your podcast. I had to come on I had to bring you on the show today, man. I appreciate your time, man. Thanks for popping on today.
Man, C-Dot, I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
Right, come back again, man.
Absolutely,
we enjoyed you.
Absolutely. Whenever you guys want me to, I'm happy to do it. That is Jason Dunn joining us on the show today. Happy to have him. Rob, I will say this about the Patriots, and you and I have not spent a lot of time talking about the Patriots, and this is maybe the longest we've talked about them in a very, very long time. I think when it comes down to New England, you have to ask yourself, how real do you think what Drake May is doing? Because if you think what Drake May is doing is for real, then I think you have to look at them as a true Super Bowl contending team. He is completing 70% of his passes. His yards per attempt is at 8.9. He has thrown 19 touchdown passes so far this season. So we are talking about a quarterback that looks like he's going to throw for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdown passes with 8 interceptions, give or take, and a 110 quarterback rating. That team's a legitimate contender if you got that guy playing quarterback. I like Travion Henderson coming out of Ohio State. He seems like he's starting to figure some things out. You got Ramondre Stevenson. You got to get him back healthy as a good 1-2 punch. And the Patriots with Vrabel, they're going to tinker and have their defense right. I feel like wherever you stand right now on the Patriots, it really comes down to how much do you believe in their quarterback. And same thing with the Broncos, as we've been debating for them for the last 3-4 weeks or so on whether you believe or not. It is not close to me between which team has the better quarterback or which team's quarterback is playing better, because Drake May is playing light years ahead of where Bo Nix is currently playing.
Maybe this is an unfair question to ask, because I don't know that you're a person that thinks this way, but I have to wonder, why are people not believing in Drake May? I mean, it's not like, I get why people don't believe in Daniel Jones. I get it. There's a track record of he's up, he's down, the highs weren't that high, the lows were low. I get why people even don't buy into Bo Nix. Bo Nix was statistically just fine last season, and he has regressed statistically and by the eye test. Why are people not believing in Drake May? Because down the stretch last year, in games that did not matter for a team that was going to fire their coach, Drake May actually wasn't bad. One of the reasons why a lot of people believe the Patriots could be good this year is because, Drake May flashed and showed a little something down the stretch. And then you combine that with Stephon Diggs is a legitimate wide receiver in the league. You get Mike Vrabel. You drafted a left tackle early, so you've solidified the offensive line. What is it about Drake May that has people saying, I don't believe in that? Because he's a former top 5 pick in the NFL draft who played well down the stretch last year and now is playing really well. What is it about Drake May that has people hesitant? I don't get it.
I mean, I think it's just
other than he's new. If you were to tell me he's new.
That's 100% what I think it is. I hear what you are saying, and the pedigree, the numbers, all of those things, right? If you feel that way about them, then I'm with you. But you know how sports is. No one believes you can do it until you actually do it. And in the AFC, there's only been 2 quarterbacks that have done it in a post-Tom Brady world. Mahomes has done it, and Joe Burrow has. So I think a lot of it is the sight unseen, and also in order to get to where you want to go in the AFC, you got to beat him. And we haven't really seen a lot of people beat him yet. But if you're looking at a team, I mean, I'm looking at the Patriots. Now, quarterback play wise, what they've gotten. This team's been good so far this season. They really have. Their numbers, what they have done so far this season. So they are 6th in points allowed so far this season, and they're getting great quarterback play, and I think their run game is starting to figure it out. They got the formula to make a little bit of a run. if you also want to play the schedule game with them, I don't know if you can play that with them anymore. They went on the road and beat Buffalo, and they went on the road and beat Tampa Bay. And if you look at their schedule the rest of the way, they have 2 games left against the Jets. They also have the Giants that just fired their head coach, and they play the Dolphins at home late in the season. So we're looking at a handful of games in which they're going to be favored. They're currently 8-2. I think we're looking at a Patriots team that could possibly win 12 or 13 games and be the 1 seed in the AFC. So if you got to go there, now obviously you're not going to be afraid if you're a Kansas City, one of those kind of teams. But I think at this point, if you go on the road and beat Buffalo and follow it up and beat Tampa Bay, I think you got to start talking about them seriously as a no-doubter tier 1 kind of team. And again, it really comes down to, do you believe what you're seeing in Drake May? Because if you believe in Drake May, you have to believe in the Patriots.
Which is why I probably am a person that believes in the Patriots more than the average person. Or maybe more than the average Kansas City. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Because I think the Patriots are for real. I don't know that means they're making the Super Bowl. I don't know that means they're going to dethrone the Chiefs. I don't know. But it looks like Drake May and the Patriots could be a thorn on the Chiefs' side for a while now. Because I think Drake May is real. I think Mike Vrabel's one of the top 5 coaches in the NFL. And whenever he's been given competent quarterback play, he's done a lot of winning where he is. And you combine that with one of the reasons why everyone just pencils the Bills in every year is because their division's pretty soft. Well, now the Patriots get to gobble up on that same soft division. I am a believer in the New England Patriots. I believe, no disrespect to Jason Dunn, me and him see it very differently. I have a lot of holes I think I can poke into the Colts. A lot. Meanwhile, I understand his point about the Patriots, but it feels like what they've done is a lot more real to this point of the year, and I believe their quarterback is more real than the Colts quarterback.
The Colts are a very, very interesting bunch because I would say I don't think there is anything that the Colts can do in the regular season that would get you to buy in. Now, they play on the road against Kansas City and on the road against Seattle in the regular season. So maybe I'm being a little bit hyperbolic there because if they go on the road and beat Kansas City and on the road against Seattle in November and December, I think you inevitably have to take them seriously. But I just think when you have Daniel Jones as your quarterback, I just don't know if you can build up enough goodwill because for the most part, and I think this is sports fans in general, a sports fan loves to say, see, I told you. We love to say, see, I told you. No one believes in Daniel Jones. The moment he gives you reasons to not believe, we are going to look at the Colts and say, see, this is why we thought you traded too much to go get Sauce Gardner because now you're stuck with Daniel Jones as your quarterback. So I don't really know what to do with him because we saw Baker Mayfield turn his career around, and now people believe in Baker Mayfield. We also saw Sam Darnold turn his career around, and now Sam Darnold might be the quarterback of the best team in the NFC. If those 2 guys could go to a new place and turn things around and change their image, why can't Daniel Jones change his image, go to a new place, good offensive-minded head coach, best running back in the league? Why can't Daniel Jones change people's opinion as well?
Maybe it's because we were so close to it, but I think you'll understand this comparison. What's different between the Colts this year with Daniel Jones and what the Chiefs did in 2013? Alex Smith was used a guy where, hey, if you get a right offensive-minded coach with him, you can get good quality play out of him. Remember, Jim Harbaugh had taken him to an NFC title game. That was a thing. And then the Chiefs traded for him, and he got paired with Andy Reid, and the Chiefs started 9-0, and the conversation was, hey, Alex Smith's the former #1 overall pick. He looked good with Harbaugh. He's now looking good with Andy Reid. This team is talented on both sides of the ball. They're just missing the quarterback, and now they found one out in the wilderness. They're 9-0. We know how the story ended with that Chiefs team that season. They did not finish undefeated. They finished with a wild card, and they lost a horrific game on the road to Andrew Luck's Colts. That's how I feel about this Daniel Jones Colts team. They are talented. They are good. And I always kind of felt like if they ever got competent quarterback play, they were a team to watch out for. They weren't getting that with Anthony Richardson and Jacoby Brissett last year. They just weren't. Now they are. But I still feel like getting competent quarterback play is not good enough for me to view them as a real Super Bowl threat. And you're right. Time will eventually be the answer. If they beat either the Chiefs or the Seahawks, if they go 1-1 in those games on the road, then I will have to change my tune a little bit. But the Colts feel so much like the 2013 Chiefs that I can't shake the feeling of once the schedule hardens up a little bit and it's on the road or in the postseason period and your quarterback has to go make plays, I don't trust their guy to do it despite all the markings that he has been doing it this season.
Rob, I have just decided that anytime we have like 90 seconds left in a segment and we can't really like start talking about something else, I'm just going to play this to fill the time.
Mendoza in trouble. It's out. Touchdown! Wow! Omar Cooper.
Omar Cooper. I'm serious. If this season continues for Indiana the way that it is going, that will be looked at as one of the greatest plays in the history of college football. You remember that catch that Michael Crabtree had against Texas? Remember that catch on the sideline? That's what that is. That's what it is. That catch on the road at Penn State, down 4, 10 plays, 80 yards. That is the Michael Crabtree play. You guys all know the one that I'm talking about. That's what we just saw this past weekend at Happy Valley. What a win by Indiana. Indiana is right now the best story in sports. They're the best story in sports. Indiana had never won 9 games in a college football season. They went to the college football playoff last year. They are currently 10-0 and might be the best team in the sport. What a wild turnaround in Indiana. Coming up on the other side, we'll continue to talk some bye-week football. We'll talk about the Buffalo Bills that embarrassed themselves by the Miami Dolphins. And are the Ravens going to do this? We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
At Casey's, when someone asked for a cup of coffee that wouldn't put them in debt, but still had freshly ground beans, rich flavor, and a price that starts with a 9 and ends with a D9 cents, we were too nice to say no. Any size darn good coffee, just 99 cents with Casey's Rewards. Limited time only. See store for details.
BetMGM is coming soon to Missouri. On November 17th, sports fans in Missouri can pre-register and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet loses. Plus, an additional $100 in bonus bets if they deposit before December 1st. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM reward points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. Pre-registration is coming soon to Missouri on November 17th. BetMGM, make it legendary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements and minimum deposit of $10. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Pending BetMGM's licensure as a mobile sports wagering operator with the Missouri Gambling Commission register for a Missouri online sports wagering account 1117. BetMGM's insurance of welcome offer is conditional on full license.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists. Shop the sales and get fuel savers. Talk about convenience. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. Come see for yourself. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Holy cow, you've done it again.
We've done it again, Toby. We won the President's Award again this year. This is the 22nd time we've been awarded this awesome honor from Ford Motor Company.
But what is the President's Award?
The President's Award is the top award Ford Motor Company gives its dealers for excellence in customer satisfaction in both sales and service and their sales penetration numbers. So we are super honored to have received this award for the 22nd time.
It covers the whole works at Lewisburg Ford.
Absolutely, and it's a testament to the awesome people we have working working at Lewisburg Ford and helping our customers, and it really shows with this award because it's only a few dealers that get it, and we've done it 22 times.
I guarantee you this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck in the Midwest.
Absolutely. You couple that President's Award lineage with our no-hassle Toby Tobin pricing, it does not get any better than that.
What is your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Or LewisburgFord.com.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Centric. You've got a stall causing big backups. 35 southbound just past Lamar. It is the right lane blocked. Working a two-car crash, 635 southbound. The on-ramp from Kansas Avenue eastbound. Be prepared to tap your brakes there. I'm starting to see red. Mostly yellow, but red. Yep, backups building there. Technology isn't slowing down, and neither is the demand for cybersecurity. At Centric, KC's only school built just for tech. You can launch your IT career in as little as 4 months. Why IT opportunity? Why Centric? Proven results. Start today at Centric.com, CENTRIQ.com. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, I want to play this audio for you guys. This is Colin Cowherd. Now, you guys saw the Bills. I mean, I'm not mad at you for losing a conference road game, a divisional road game, right? That's not the worst thing that can happen. But to lose to the Dolphins, and the way you lost to the Dolphins, they gave you the beats, hands and feet. The Bills didn't score in the first 3 quarters of the game. They got beat 30-13 by Miami. That team fired their general manager. That team has looked lifeless for a majority of the season. They're going to fire their head coach at the end of the season. So for that team to pummel you and outclass you the way that they did is an embarrassment and an indictment on everybody. Here's Colin Cowherd talking about the beatdown that the Bills got.
And here's my thing with Sean McDermott. Something's always leaking, and it takes him an entire offseason to figure it out. You don't have an offseason. You're wasting Josh Allen's prime. The running game took years to solve. Now the passing game, well, I have to wait until next year to solve it? I mean, Justin Herbert doesn't have his tackles or his number one running back, and Jim Harbaugh's got him in a 3-game winning streak. Their offensive line is atrocious. 3-game winning streak. San Francisco has Mac Jones quarterbacking. The receivers aren't healthy. Where's Ayuk? Where's Ricky Pearsall? Mac Jones yesterday went 33 of 39. Buffalo has been mostly healthy, schedule 3rd easiest in the league, and yet they have 1 win over a team with a winning record. So in their 3 losses, they've averaged 15 points. with Josh Allen and James Cook? How is that possible?
This is the truth. I understand that it is a salary cap league and you can only pay so many people. The Bills have done a terrible job in either giving Josh Allen the wide receivers or developing the wide receivers. You guys remember when Josh Allen took that big jump? How did he take it? Because he was not great his first 2 years. He took a big jump in year 3. You guys remember how? They traded for Stephon Diggs. They went out and got him a dog. This is the argument that I always make. I feel like we use these catch-22 arguments with quarterbacks. Hey, well, you got too many weapons. Well, then when you take them away, why is that guy playing poorly? Because you ain't giving them the pieces. Listen to their top 4 wide receivers in Buffalo. Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Joshua Palmer, Elijah Moore. That's bad. That's bad. The things that they have invested in or developed are working. James Cook is having a phenomenal year running the football. Josh Allen having a great year. That's really it. Dalton Kincaid's fine. They thought that Dalton Kincaid could be George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Gronk. He was supposed to be next up. He was supposed to be that guy. He's fine. He is Dalton Schultz. He's Dallas Goedert. Good tight end. You can't build your offense around Dallas Goedert. That's why you go get Devontae Smith. That's why you go get A.J. Brown. That's why you go get dogs. One of Buffalo's problems is they ain't got enough dogs on a routine game in, game out basis. That's how they've let Josh Allen down, in my opinion. When you gave him pieces on the outside, when he had Cole Beasley, when he had Stephon Diggs, you could score 38 points on the road at Arrowhead and be in a shootout. I don't think they have the pieces to do it. And another secret is that defense, not great. So if you're lacking defensively and you also don't have enough on offense, what do we do with that scenario? Because so far this season, we have talked more about Buffalo's schedule than Buffalo's team. That's all we mention when it comes to Buffalo. We don't mention how good we think Buffalo is. It's look at their schedule. If the schedule is the only thing holding you up in mid-November, that's the problem. It's that. So I can't put Buffalo in that conversation. I gave you guys who I think of the top 5 teams in the league. Colts, Patriots, Eagles, Seahawks, Rams. Bills aren't in that conversation. To me, the Bills are like a team that they better be preparing to go on the road in the postseason. That's what they need to be doing. They need to be prepared to not have a home playoff game. I don't know what their final game is in that stadium. I don't have their schedule up right in front of me, but I'm telling you that their last regular season game, that's their last game there, period. They ain't going back there. Not with the way they're playing and not with the way New England is playing. New England is better than them. They've been more consistent than they are. Let's talk about this Ravens team. Are the Ravens going to do this? Because the Steelers, I mean, it's right on time, is it not? We all knew this was going to happen at some point with the Steelers. They do this every single year. How could you believe? How could you believe? I mean, they went out there lifeless on Sunday Night Football. That's what it was. It was a lifeless effort they gave us. Now, if you're looking at Pittsburgh's schedule, they play Cincinnati. I mean, that feels like a coin flip kind of game. On the road against Chicago, they got Buffalo. So they got 3 more games coming up before they go on the road and play the Ravens. And to continue the schedule conversation, I mean, this Ravens schedule, it looked real soft to me. You got Cleveland and the Jets coming up. And if you win those 2 games, you'll be over 500. And no one will want to play you. Like, the Ravens are looking like the team that we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season. Their defense has really improved and turned around. I mean, they haven't allowed more than 21 points since that game to Houston. You remember that Houston game, I don't know what they were doing defensively, super beat up. But since then, they have allowed 17, 16, 6, and 19. So now they're holding teams to under 21 points, and now they got their quarterback back. And that has opened things up for them on the offensive side. The Ravens look like a team that is ascending. They look like a team that is improving, playing much better football. The Steelers, I mean, they run the same scheme every single year. I can't wait for Bills and Ravens in the wild card round. It's going to be great. That nice 3-6 matchup or that 4-5 matchup that we're going to get on wild card weekend, because Buffalo's going on the road. They playing somebody. Buffalo is not hosting week 1 of the NFL playoffs. They're going on the road for Super Wild Card Weekend. So we got to start guessing where they're going on the road. They're not going on the road to Indy because Indy might have the bye. Patriots might end up having the bye. I'm telling you, they're like a team right now that we might be getting Bills, Ravens in the wild card round. We were supposed to be getting that in the AFC Championship game. Nope, not anymore. We might be getting that the first game of the playoffs.
Let me ask you this, because I think this is actually a scenario that could play out. If you're a Chiefs fan, Bills at Arrowhead, Super Wild Card Weekend, how are you feeling? Because I would say the Chiefs look better than the Bills. 2 weeks ago on this show, me and you puffed our chest out and said, I don't see a scenario where the beat-up Bills can beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a situation where they could be playing on Super Wild Card Weekend. I actually think they will be because I think the Colts or Patriots are going to get the 1 seed just by their schedule remaining.
I'd be stunned if the Chiefs were the 1 seed.
It's not going to happen.
I don't even know from a math perspective. It's going to be very, very tough to do.
The math is there, but it's very actually unlikely.
I mean, they got to win out basically for the math.
And then they got to get help. But if they're playing Super Wild Card Weekend at home, they win the AFC West, and they play the Bills, are Chiefs fans comfortable, or are they starting to sweat going into that game?
I think it depends on how the Chiefs are playing. I don't think right now Chiefs fans are worried as much about the exterior more than they're worried about themselves. Because I think the feeling is going to be, as long as the Chiefs are playing well and make the playoffs, you will take your quarterback and your team against anybody that's out there. So as long as the Chiefs can figure out a way to be one of the top 7 teams in the AFC, I think Chiefs fans are going to walk into it. We've done this before. We went on the road a couple of years ago. We went to Buffalo. We went to Baltimore. We won those games. Why can't we do it again? So I think it's a very, very good question. I don't think that right now it's bye week, we're coming off of it, let's see what happens. I don't think Chiefs fans are worried about other teams. I think they're worried about their team. How do they get healthy? How do they get right? How do they start playing their best football? I do want to answer this really quickly. See that, don't make excuses. The Chiefs won a Super Bowl with MVS, Kadarius Toney, and Sky Moore with an average offensive line. Maybe Allen just isn't that guy like everybody wants him to be. I feel like we've established this a long time ago. Josh Allen is not Patrick Mahomes. In fact, there are only like 3 quarterbacks in Super Bowl history that could have won with the talent that Patrick Mahomes has. Like Joe Montana, Elway, Brady. That's the list. Yeah, so I'm with you. No, Josh Allen needs things that Patrick Mahomes doesn't need. And if you're going to continue to give him Khalil Shakir and Josh Palmer, those are your 1 and 2 options, and Keon Coleman, I'm telling you that Buffalo will continue to have their heart broken every single January. He does not have enough things. I don't know why they weren't willing to make the trade to go get Jalen Waddle. Let's actually talk about that, because this week we got we almost, that was a theme on Sunday morning. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's about time pros had one partner for every part of the job. Simple ordering, fast delivery, continuous support, all from one partner. The Home Depot delivers supplies on your schedule. Our pro team helps you plan ahead so projects run smoother. And with Pro Extra benefits, you can simplify ordering, track spending, and save time every step of the way. Because with one partner, you get more than materials, you keep your job moving. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
BetMGM is coming soon to Missouri. On November 17th, sports fans in Missouri can pre-register and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet loses, plus an additional $100 in bonus bets if they deposit before December 1st. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM reward points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. Pre-registration is coming soon to Missouri on November 17th. BetMGM, make it legendary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements and minimum deposit of $10. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Pending BetMGM's licensure as a mobile sports wagering operator with the Missouri Gambling Commission register for a Missouri online sports wagering account 1117. BetMGM's insurance of welcome offer is conditional on full license.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Centric. You've got a stall causing big backups. 35 southbound just past Lamar. It is the right lane blocked. Working a two-car crash, 635 southbound. The on-ramp from Kansas Avenue eastbound. Be prepared to tap your brakes there. I'm starting to see red, mostly yellow, but red. Yep, backups building there. Technology isn't slowing down, and neither is the demand for cybersecurity. At Centric, KC's only school built just for tech. You can launch your IT career in as little as 4 months. Why IT opportunity? Why Centric? Proven results. Start today at Centric.com, CENTRIQ.com. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Rashi Rice from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
All right, Rob, I have a non-football topic that I want to talk about. I know I teased something else, and I apologize, but I feel like this will be a very relatable topic. So, Rob, you know that I am in the process of trying to move. I have been renting my apartment for quite some time, and I just feel like it's time for me to take the next step in my life. It's time for me to have some home ownership. So I've been really looking and really going through the process of trying to do this. I was preparing to make an offer on a place. We did some more research on the building, the condo that I was thinking about purchasing, was advised, please don't do it. Stay away. And I'm a big believer. I can't bring these people on to help me and then not listen to their help. So I'm not going to make an offer. So I'm back at square one. The reason I am telling you this is I feel like a really famous person that is now going to the grocery store and has no clue that's what food costs. Like, I don't know if Patrick Mahomes goes to the grocery store or Clark Hunt, for example. I'm going to guess that Clark Hunt has absolutely no clue how much milk costs. I'm just going to guess. When would Clark Hunt have ever been to Hy-Vee to buy milk? I'm assuming that's never happened. The reason I'm making this analogy is, for the first time in my life, I'm looking up to see how much houses cost. I have never done that. I've never just randomly went on Zillow and started looking at houses. Like, I'm not planning on moving. I'm happy with where I am. This is the first time I've done it. And Rob, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it. I'm like, now that I have a good idea of what these things should cost, like area and amenities and all these things, I'm now thinking, people spend that much on houses today? The world is starting to make so much more sense. Like when I hear these news reports and they talk about how, Rob, our generation wants to rent and doesn't want to buy houses. Yeah, because you're selling me this rinky-dink regular house and it's $350,000. That's why millennials don't want to buy houses. I didn't really understand that until just now. I'd heard these things, I read these things, but I had no frame of reference because I had never experienced it for myself. Now I am experiencing it. Now that I'm going through like, oh, this is what people's mortgage would be, or, oh, this is how much you would need for a down payment. Now that I'm getting a greater understanding, and now I'm looking at, oh, you should look at this place, look at this place. I'm thinking, wait, people play that to, how is this? This does not feel like a sustainable model. Have you had this feeling before, or am I just super late to the party when it comes to this? I can't be the only person that's super late to this.
I don't know if you're super late. I think people our age are buying houses later and later in life, but I think the first time you go through this process, it's jarring.
But now that we're doing this, it makes me just want to stay where I've been.
It's jarring. It's a jarring process. But like I told you this before on the show, it's a little bit of the first time to get the ball rolling sucks. There's no way around it. Big down payment, the whole deal. But you know what eventually is going to happen? You're going to buy a house. You're going to like a house. You'll buy a second house. You'll leave the first one and go to the second one. You know what's going to happen? The first one, you'll sell and you'll make a little cash. You'll then use that cash for a down payment, and now you have a nicer house that you're paying a lower rate for, presumably, if you did the money game right. It's the first one always sucks. That's why the term starter home exists.
No, I'm with you.
People's starter home, you know what people don't do with their first house? They don't live in Hallbrook. They don't live in Mission Hills.
Yeah.
Their first house is rinky-dink, and it's down the block from, a loud bar, and they can't really sleep, or they're near the airport, and it's planes constantly.
You know
but
what?
Then you get the ball rolling.
No,
you get
that
going.
makes sense. I guess if that's the case, then I'm just going to live where I'm at. If that's the situation, I'm just going to continue to live where I am. I'm committed to going through this process. It's been informative. It's things I didn't think about. I never looked at any of these things. Now that I'm going through it and I'm looking, I'm like, that's how much it costs to live in that neighborhood? No. Why would anybody do this? This hasn't really been that fun of an experience. I will admit that. It hasn't really been that fun.
Well, you haven't finished the experience. It becomes more fun when you get
when
the
it's
keys.
over. Yeah, when it's over.
Well, that's the same. You just got a new car. That's the same with car buying. You like going the lots and walking around talking to car salesmen? No, it's not fun. You like taking test drives and quite literally kicking the tires on cars? Of course not. No one's been like, oh man, you know what I want to do forever? Test drive cars. It's not fun.
Okay.
But the end result is you get a new car and you're excited. That's the reward.
No, I got you.
The pot of gold in this rainbow.
Well, tomorrow I'm back at looking at places and just making a decision on what I want to do.
To be fair, you also done this to yourself. You refuse to cross state line. The Chiefs and Royals may cross. Why can't you?
Rob, I want to be as clear as possible. I have absolutely no interest in living in the state of Kansas. None. I have not looked. I don't even type in, when you can narrow your search. I'm not even looking at where to live over there. I don't have any interest in living in Kansas. None. Not at all. Ever. None. I mean, if I got to move to the suburbs in Missouri, I'm going to Blue Springs. So I'm going to Blue Springs. I'm going to Lee Summit. I'm going to Independence. There's no world, Rob, where I live on 135th. I don't have any interest in moving there. None.
What if I told you?
I don't care. I don't care.
What if I told you it's a great location to tailgate Royals games? A lot of convenience for you for those 81 games a year you go to.
Right. No, you're right. That's a good point. I'm okay. You got it. I don't want to go over there. I don't have any interest. You think I want Kansas tags? You think I want a Kansas driver's license? I'm serious. Like, I don't want to let me see your ID. Can you imagine? This is what I don't want. And I know some of you live with this. This is what I don't want. I don't want to be out of town, and then you got to show somebody your ID. And then that person looks at me and says, "Oh, you're from Kansas?" Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah, because
no,
you never
I'm not.
You never
I'm
get
not
that
from
with
Kansas.
Missouri.
I don't want to be from Kansas. I don't want to be from there. That's what I don't want. I don't want to be out of town. I hand somebody my license. Because then we all have been in this situation before. When you tell somebody where you're from, and then "Oh, so you're from Kansas." No, I'm not. Please don't do that. That's very serious where I'm from. We got a fight offense if you say that to me. No, I'm not from Kansas at all. Please don't say that to me. So yeah, that's why that's number one. I'm sure it's great over there. Great school system. The roads are great. I'm sure it's great. You know what I like being? I like being a Kansas visitor. That's what I love. I love being a Kansas visitor. It is great. Got the mall right there. It's nice. Got nice little restaurants and shops. But you know what I love most? Going back, leaving, going home. That's what I enjoy.
I think your life would be a lot easier. You work in Kansas, bing, bang, boom, taxes. I just cut a couple loopholes out of your life.
Okay, that's fair. Well,
also, you act like people look at your license like, ooh, Missouri, like it's Hawaii or somewhere, exotic and fun.
It just identifies me as who I am and proud to be where I'm from.
Do you know what our side of state line has? Paved roads, and in the winter when it snows, they're going to be shoveled.
Somebody said, why the hate on Kansas? I just don't want to be one of you guys.
If Clark Hunt is considering moving across state lines, you should consider it.
He likes this place so much you don't even live here. Keep it here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Downtown KC 169 highway southbound just before 70. It is the right lane blocked. A little bit of a slow go. Shawnee 35 southbound past Lamar. That stall is off to the right shoulder. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you'd find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feeling lucky? Then Saturday, November 29th is your night because luck is alive at Harrah's Kansas City during the night of 101 winners. We're handing out a massive $120,000 in free play and cash. That's $1,000 every 5 minutes. 101 winners. And you could be one of them. Want to stack the odds? Play on Wednesdays in November and earn 10 times the entries for even more chances to strike it lucky. Only at Harrah's Kansas City, where winners are made. 21 or older to gamble. Knowing to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You could be on the 50 at GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Enter to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest. We believe.
It's Thirsty Thursday at Hy-Vee. Time to stock up the bar and fill up your tank. Earn 50 cents per gallon fuel savings on every $50 purchase of wine, beer, hard seltzer, and spirits. Mix and match all your favorite libations and get a 50-cent fuel saver with every $50 purchase. Stack up the savings and your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss Thirsty Thursday at your Kansas City, Missouri Hy-Vee. Product or promotion differs by location. Offers valid where legal, available while supplies last.
The Chiefs have been scoring a ton of points lately, and that means I'm saving a ton of money at Hy-Vee. And now I have even more reason to cheer on the Chiefs because I score big fuel savings when I shop Hy-Vee the day after any Chiefs game. Win or lose, I'll earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. If the Chiefs score 35 points, I save 35 cents a gallon when I spend $35 on groceries. So the more we score, the more I save, only for my friends at Hy-Vee.
Hey, Kansas City, this is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect, our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. Today, I'm here to tell you about an exciting offer for the remainder of the month. While supplies last, Victory is offering 3 ways to save on all remaining 2025 Ram half-tons, the winner of the coveted Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Here's how it works. You get a pick from 3 great offers like $5,000 off and 0% for 72 months on all remaining 2025 Ram 1500s, or $11,000 off and 3.9% for 72 months, or an astonishing $16,000 off with standard financing. Folks, it's no secret, it's been the same for years. The best time to buy a new pickup truck is during the model year-end closeout. Business owners, come see us today and ask about additional year-end savings from Ram exclusively for you. Supplies are dwindling fast, so hurry in and take advantage of this offer. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Listen to the Chiefs and Broncos on Sunday with pregame starting at noon. Kickoff at 3:25 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. This is what we were going to talk about before I got distracted. We were talking about houses. Now, I don't think this is that big of a deal. It's kind of funny to me. The Chiefs, I thought very clearly, did a PR move this weekend that isn't being talked about nearly enough. Now, I remember a couple days ago that some of you guys were very mad that the Chiefs didn't make a move. And they started putting it out there, or it started being known in NFL circles, that they tried to get Breece Hall. You remember, there was the report that the Chiefs offered up a 4th-round pick to try to go get Breece Hall. Here is Connor Hughes, who covers the Jets.
with Breece Hall, there was an offer on the table for a 4th-round pick from Breece Hall. I was told that it was from the Kansas City Chiefs that were willing to trade for Breece Hall. The Jets were steadfast in wanting a 3rd. So they wanted a 3rd-round pick for Breece Hall. They were not able to get one, only had a 4th-round offer.
So that was the sentiment last week, is that the Chiefs tried to go get Breece Hall, and the price was too rich, and the Jets walked away from the deal, which they can. So you guys were kind of mad about that. Well, you know what? On Sunday morning, which, Rob, you agree, has turned into the information dump, is what happens. On Sunday morning, Rappaport, Schefter, Glazer, Peter Schrager, everybody has all this information that they just let us know about. Well, we found out that the Chiefs tried to make another move, but this time it was Seattle. It was Seattle that didn't want to do the deal. Boy, this is some really, really good PR. This is actually really smart by the Chiefs, because the Chiefs get to say, I mean, look, hey, Chiefs Kingdom, we tried. We tried to make an offensive move. We tried to make a defensive move, but it was them that didn't want to do the deal, not us. See, nobody wants to do a deal with us. The Jets didn't want to do a deal with us, and Seattle didn't want to do a deal with us. What more can we do? This is smart by Brett Veach. That's what it is. This is smart. So this is the story. A near deal. At Tuesday's NFL draft deadline, the Chiefs made a late strong push to acquire the Seahawks linebacker. Is it Boye Mafe? Is that how you pronounce his name? Per sources, some thought the deal would get done. One source thought it was completed, but right before the deadline, Seattle opted out of the deal. I'm telling you, Brett Veach, this was smart. This was good. I'm telling you, this was real good. Rob, Schefter put this out at 6 o'clock in the morning. Brett Veach, I know the game. I know the move. That was good. You guys can't be mad at Brett Veach. He offered up picks. He sees what you guys see. Hey, they need a little help in the run game. I mean, hey, we tried. Hey, we need a little help in the linebacker room. We tried. So I think you got to get off Brett Veach's back. That's PR 101. We know where that source came from. We don't even got to guess. That's not the Seahawks. Why would the Seahawks tell you that story? Why would the Seahawks tell you that they were about to trade one of their players? No, that's from the Chiefs. The Chiefs want that story out there to you guys, to the fan base, to let you know that they were trying their hardest during the trade deadline. I got to applaud it. I got to applaud the move. All right, Rob, let's get to the hits.
Your workday is over. Oh, yeah. You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
KG Hits brought to you by Baker University. Make your next era orange at Baker University, the first university in Kansas and ranked number 1 in return on investment among private universities in Kansas. Baker University, forever in our orange era.
All right, so let's go through this as hit number 1. These are the teams. I think these are the 5 best teams in the National Football League. The Patriots, Colts, Eagles, Seahawks, and Rams. I think when you factor in talent, schedule, who you've played, who you've beaten so far this season, I think you have to put those teams as the top 5 teams in the National Football League. This is kind of where I'm at with the Chiefs as we are heading into this game against the Broncos, and we'll start the shift probably a little bit earlier than we usually do just because of the magnitude of the game. This feels like a playoff game, even though it's not a playoff game. This is where I'm at. Usually at this point in the season, it is pretty clear that the Chiefs are either the best team or in the conversation for best teams. Maybe they're not the number 1 on everybody's board, but they're number 2, they're number 3. They are firmly in the conversation of we can win the Super Bowl. Now, there's still enough time. And if you go on the road and beat the Broncos and you beat the Indianapolis Colts in these next 2 games, you go from tier 2 to tier 1. But usually there's a little bit of separation between Kansas City and all these other teams. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing that it's not this year. It's just different. For the first time in a while, it feels like the Chiefs are just one of those teams. That's what it feels like. You can't look at what they've done so far this season and, in my opinion, put them in top 5 of your power ranking. If you still believe in the Chiefs, that makes a lot of sense. You didn't have Rashee Rice, your best offensive player for the first 6 weeks of the season. You now got him back. You got him healthy. You still have 3 very important games in your division, and the schedule lightens up on the second half. So if there's a team that is positioned to get hot and make a run, it is the Kansas City Chiefs. But usually at this point, you just feel a little bit different about the Chiefs. They have walked around with a aura of invincibility about them for the last couple of years. They've walked around with a, we're better than you. And they have been better than you in just about every single instance. If you are watching the National Football League right now, I'm not going to say that it feels like the Chiefs are just another team, because I don't think there's some average run-of-the-mill team. It just seems like they're a part of the pack. And so far, the Chiefs have not separated themselves from the pack. Now, I would say the positive side of this is no one's really separated themselves from the pack. Whomever you think the best team is in the league, maybe you think it's the Colts, maybe you think it's the Patriots, maybe you think it's the Broncos, the Eagles, whomever you think that it is, I would say that that team has not created a lot of separation or a lot of distance between them and everybody else. So it's really going to come down to who can get hot, who can get healthy, who can play well, who can get great quarterback play. And someone on the text line said this, and I wrote it down because I thought it was one of the better points that we have seen so far today when talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, about nobody wanting to play them and kind of where you sit and where you are in this thing. Someone made the point that the reason I feel so confident about Kansas City is our best is still better than anybody else's by a wide margin. All the Chiefs need to do is stack wins. Rob, you asked me earlier how you thought Chiefs fans are going to feel heading into this. I think the message from the Chiefs Kingdom, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, 913-586-7965. It is, we've done the win the division thing. It's great. It's cool. But that's not what we play for. Rob, you feel very strongly about the Big 12 streak, right? But what you really care about is, can you make a deep run in March Madness? Can you go to and win the championship? So if the Chiefs end up as a wild card team, sure, there will be a measure of disappointment that they couldn't win the division for 10 straight years. But it sounds like what I am reading on the text line, if we can get into the postseason and we are playing well, we feel like we are better than all of these teams. And I can't tell you that you're wrong. If the Chiefs can figure out a way in these next couple of weeks, and maybe they still don't end up winning their division, but you got a win over Denver on the road, you beat Indianapolis, we'll see how the rest of the season plays itself out. There certainly isn't anybody that you should feel afraid of. And I don't care what team you play in the postseason, you will have the quarterback advantage, you will have the coach advantage in any of those matchups. So the sentiment that I'm getting from Chiefs fans is, sure, we'd love to win the division. It'd be great to win the division, but just put us in the dance. I don't care where we are, and we will figure out a way to be the last team standing in this whole thing. So that's a good mindset to have. We've been talking about it through this. Right now, there are 2 doors for the Chiefs. Door number 1, everything stays the same. If the Chiefs go on the road and beat the Denver Broncos, how you already feel about the Chiefs, they will just confirm it. You will continue to feel like you run this. You will not care about the record of the Colts. You will not care about the Broncos record or the Patriots record. We're still the best team in the AFC until proven otherwise. It will be impossible to not tell you otherwise. If you go on the road and beat a team that's 8-2 right now and kind of feels like they have this division wrapped up, and now you can take that advantage away from them, the sentiment will be the king stay the king. That's behind door number 1 of let's make a deal. Nothing changes. We were talking about the Chiefs like they were the best team in the AFC, even though they were technically out of the playoffs a couple of weeks ago. You will not feel any different about the Chiefs if they win this game. And that's a good thing. You have a high opinion of Kansas City. That's how you should feel. You won this conference 3 years in a row. You've been to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. That's a good thing. If you lose for the first time, we will have to talk about the Chiefs like a wild card team. And at no point since Patrick Mahomes has been the quarterback of the Chiefs have we talked about them like a wild card team. We will talk about them like they are just a team that is in the mix. And there's nothing wrong with being in the mix. You can win the Super Bowl as a team that's in the mix. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a couple of seasons ago, they won it as a team that was just in the mix. But that is the difference, I think, between these two. One is Status quo, keeps things the same. The other one is you will feel nervousness and pressure for the first time in a long time as a Kansas City Chiefs fan, because there will legitimately be that. You will be 5 games back of the Denver Broncos with 7 to play. The division conversation is over if they lose this game. You are not playing a home game at Arrowhead in January. You are going on the road for every single game. Now, again, as long as you get into the dance, you are not worried about going on the road against Indianapolis or New England or Denver or Pittsburgh or any of these teams. But right now, those are the 2 options. If this is the Matrix, that's the red pill and that's the blue pill when talking about what this game means for the Chiefs.
I do think one thing, and maybe I'm just speaking for fans or at least fans on the text line, with the red or blue pill. Because let's talk about the loss scenario, because the win scenario, you're right. Kings stay Kings. Chiefs fans will be 6-4, and they'll talk about their team like they're 10-0. And they should. I don't disagree with any of that. If they lose, are you sure that fans won't still have a confidence? Because at least based on the text line, the sense I get from fans is very simple. Win, lose, or draw against the Broncos on Sunday, if you get us in the playoffs, no one has knocked us out. No one can knock us out because historically, we haven't seen it. The Chiefs have lost, 3 times, 4 times in the Patrick Mahomes years in the playoffs, all in the AFC title game or later. And it's been Tom Brady a couple times, and it was Joe Burrow once, and Jalen Hurts, who's also, maybe not a top 5 quarterback, but considered one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And Chiefs fans have talked about, it's the O-line this, the O-line that. I don't know that a loss shakes them from that. I think me and you and the national media will talk about them as, are they a playoff team? What's going to happen with them after going on the road possibly 3 times in the postseason? They've never had to do that, this, that, and the other. I still think because the Chiefs are the Chiefs and they have been the Kings for a long time, I don't know that fan confidence is going to waver even with the loss in Denver on Sunday. They always seem to find a way in the postseason.
Was you here when they lost to Buffalo a couple weeks ago? You was here, right?
Yeah, but it was a mixed bag. There were some that were shaking. There were some that were saying they can't beat us in January. That fan that said doesn't care about the Bills' regular season loss will not care about the Broncos' regular season loss.
100%. I guess what I would argue is the Chiefs have never lost a game like this one at Denver. They've lost to Buffalo before. This is a team in the division that right now there is no way to argue the Broncos are above the Chiefs. They are not even right now. The Broncos have been the better, more consistent team so far this season. If they win, if the Broncos win, it is no longer a conversation about you winning the division. Now, I'm with you. I don't think fans are going to overly react about it. And I think one of the reasons that's going to be the case is I think the sentiment is that their schedule is weak. Their schedule is weak. So that's what I'm saying is I think the feeling's going to be just get in. Hey, we have acknowledged we're not winning the division. We are 5-5. They're 9-2. They just beat us. We acknowledge we are not winning the division. All we care about is just getting in. And they certainly, you have Houston at home, Los Angeles at home, Tennessee, the Raiders. I'm not going to panic like I think the Chiefs are going to miss the playoffs. But I guess my point more than anything is if the Chiefs lose this game, it will be hard to argue that they're special. And we have talked about the Chiefs for 7 years now, like the Chiefs are special. Patrick Mahomes won 1 Super Bowl. We were already talking about dynasty. We've been comparing him to Tom Brady for the last 8 years. Rob, if you don't have the Chiefs going undefeated, you're a Chiefs hater. We get called Chiefs hater on the morning show all the time. For the first time, they will not be special if they lose. They will be one of the other teams, which, hey, if you get hot, cool. You and I were talking about this earlier. This is the comparison. Kansas basketball, they have always been a 1 or a 2 seed. They've been a 1 or a 2 seed, 13 in the last 15 years? You go into it expecting to be the 1 or the 2 seed. Every KU basketball season goes the same way. At least it did for a very long time. They lose some random game in November. Bill Self calls them soft. They then figure it out around Christmas time. They then go in the Big 12. We're always told that this other team is going to win the conference. It's like Baylor or Iowa State or Oklahoma State or whomever. It's always somebody else. KU always has some big pivotal swing game in the conference. They always figure out a way to win. They end up being the 1 seed. They end up being a team that you think can win the national championship. They played that season out for 15 years. Last season, Rob, You were playing the bracket game, and you've never played that before. Well, if we can win this first round game, I don't really think St. John's can win. They can't really shoot it. If the bracket can break this way, that's how we'll talk about the Chiefs if they lose this game. Now, we see teams go to the Final Four all the time as the 4 seed, all the time as the 5 seed. It's not impossible to make the Final Four. That happens all the time. But we all acknowledge your best way of doing it is being the 1 or the 2 seed, and that's why Kansas is Kansas. That when you're the 4 seed or the 5 seed, you got to convince yourself about an upset, or you need the bracket to break your right way. The Chiefs have dictated the terms in the AFC for a half decade, and the feeling has been, you got to come to Kansas City and you got to beat Patrick Mahomes if you got to go to the Super Bowl. That is not how people are going to feel about the Chiefs if they lose this game. It's just going to be a different path than you've had. I'm not saying you can't do it. Again, you can be the 5 seed and go to the Final Four. You can be the 5 seed and win the championship. But the Chiefs ain't never been a 5 seed or a 4 seed. They've always been a 1 or a 2.
That is fair. I just think because the Chiefs, maybe it just feels like the Chiefs fans haven't had their confidence shaken yet, where I think most every other NFL team in the league, by the time they get to 5-4 and they're right now on the outside looking into the playoffs, like the Jags. I know the Jags are in the playoff picture right now. If you ask Jags fans, all 3 of them, hey, are you confident your team can make the Super Bowl? They would all say no. They just want to make the playoffs. That'd be great. Just make the dance. Chiefs fans, same record outside the playoffs on that graphic. If we ask the average Chiefs fan, are you confident your team can make the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl? Every single fan would say yes because of Patrick Mahomes. So I don't know a loss in Denver wavers that confidence. Maybe I'm misreading the fan base. Maybe 5-5, outside looking in, Arrowhead Invitational, all but dead, Arrowhead games in the postseason, all but gone, AFC West streak, slips through their fingertips. Maybe that all changes with a loss. I don't know. I do know this. You mentioned the KU, and there's always some big swing game in the conference. Mitch Holtis, who comes on this show every week, says that every season has an inflection point. He calls it an inflection point.
This feels like that inflection point.
And the Chiefs, if we go back and we look at each season, and we can ask him next week, hey, name the inflection point for the 24 season, 23 season. The Chiefs don't lose the inflection point game. The Chiefs usually win that game, or they might lose the individual game, but after that, they rattle off like 6 in a row. Like, in 2019, if you want to tell me the inflection point game before their first Super Bowl was going down to Tennessee and taking a bad loss, cool. You know what they did after that? They didn't lose. It will feel different if they lose this game and they're 5-5. It will feel like, can they really bounce back? Can they get off the mat? You're right. This Sunday is the inflection point game, as Mitch Holtis calls it.
Yeah, and I guess at least with this, and I think what is so exciting about this is, I think it really comes down to 2 things, if I'm being honest right now in the AFC. I'm not necessarily as worried about Buffalo. Like, let's erase what's happened in the past, regular season, postseason, any of those things. I don't know if Buffalo defensively is good enough to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if they have enough on offense with pieces around their quarterback to be able to win the Super Bowl. It honestly comes down to me in the AFC is, how much do you believe in Daniel Jones? How much do you believe in Bo Nix? How much do you believe in Drake May? Because I would say for the first time in a while, Patrick Mahomes has some new challengers that have emerged. Rob, you remember we used to play like a fighting video game and you would put a new quarter in and then it would say on the screen, hey, a new challenger, somebody wants to play you. You've been running the cabinet for the last 4 people. You've been beating everybody up. Somebody has now put their coin into the machine and now they want to challenge you. It has been the same people for the last 3 years. It's been Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, C.J. Stroud. Has been the same people for the last couple of seasons. This time, you got some new players. Daniel Jones and the Colts have just randomly popped up. Drake May was in junior high, it felt like, when this run started. He might be one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the National Football League right now. Bo Nix, even though he and Mahomes feel like they're the same age, this is his 2nd year as a starter, and the Broncos might have the best defense. So I think a lot of this conversation is you have the old guard in Kansas City that has won all of these games now for the last 8 years, and then you got a group of teams that haven't won any of these games, at least not with their current quarterback. The Colts won these when Peyton Manning was their quarterback. The Broncos won it, same thing. The Patriots won this when they had Tom Brady. But Drake May has, 1 big win in his NFL career. Bo Nix, how many big wins does he have? Daniel Jones hasn't done it yet. So I think a lot of this conversation, and I just don't think there's a scenario in which Chiefs fans, because you have Patrick Mahomes, you will never feel worried about those teams because you go into a game with the quarterback advantage. So the same way the Chiefs fans have asked Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and these guys to prove it to them on the field, we now know there is a current crop of new quarterbacks that they are going to feel that way about. Yeah, you guys got a good defense. You guys got a good story. You got to prove to us over 60 minutes that you can be better than Patrick Mahomes, that you can beat the Chiefs. And we're just not going to get that answer until January.
And I would also say, and this is me talking out both sides of my mouth a little bit with the Chiefs fan confidence, in years like this or where it looks like this is the kind of year during the Brady Manning era that Flacco got his, that a Roethlisberger got his. Because if we went through, and it would take a long time, and we identified every year of the Manning-Brady era, other teams went to the Super Bowl, and other teams won Super Bowls in that era because there were years that things just weren't going the Colts and Patriots way. Things just didn't break 100% right. Remember, Tom Brady lost at home to the Ravens in the wild card round. He got blown out one year. Peyton Manning lost at home as like a 15-1 team to the Steelers with Jerome Bettis. Like, this kind of stuff happened to those guys. The Chiefs have never had that moment. They've never had the, hey, things didn't go great for us this season, and we slipped up in the postseason. Mahomes has just always figured it out. If this season, I feel like if he figures it out again, the NFL might never overcome him. This feels like one of those years where, because the Chiefs feel a little down, if you're someone else in the league, you can't let 15 get to the Super Bowl, or Chiefs fans' confidence will never, ever, ever be shaken as long as he's quarterback.
I'm not even saying that you're wrong, but I'm saying is that's like the fourth season we've said that with Patrick Mahomes, and they always figure it out. I still have no clue how they won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Not with that team. That team felt like they were okay. They never really felt great over the course of the season. Next thing you know, you just look up and it's like, wait, they're in the Super Bowl again. Wait, they won the Super Bowl? So that's where I feel like it started from. I feel like that level of confidence started when you saw your quarterback go on the road and beat Josh Allen, and then the next week go on the road and beat Lamar Jackson, and then they beat Jalen Hurts. That's when I think the confidence, bravado, whatever word you want to use, that's when I feel like it was developed, and it's understandable. You have been the team of this decade, so you are not afraid of the Johnny-come-lately flavor of the month teams that are going to pop up every single NFL season. Rob, I told you whenever we had a little bit of free time, I'm just going to play this just because it makes my heart happy.
Mendoza in trouble! It's out! Touchdown! Wow! Oh, Marco play! Unbelievable! Give him the Heisman Trophy now!
Let's talk more about Gus Johnson coming up on the other side. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Get ready, Missouri. Kickoff is near. The world's largest sports book is coming to your fingertips. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. With high and transparent app limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Start betting like a pro in Missouri on December 1st. Learn about your new bookie today at circasports.com. The world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports launches December 1st.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. You know, confidence is key. You hear that all the time when it comes to everything in your life. The players that we watch and all the winning that we see comes from players who are confident and are able to deliver when it matters most. What if you could be more confident where it counts? I'm talking about Blue Chew. They provide access to chewable tablets that help you feel and perform at your best. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Because showing up matters during life's most exciting moments. Day nights just got longer and better for everyone. Be ready when she is. Turn oh no into oh yes with Blue Chew. This isn't just about performance. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. There's an offer for you there. You get your first month free when you use our promo code KFNZ at checkout. Just cover $5 in shipping. That's it. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. Then you're ready to chew it and do it.
Hey, Chiefs fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Kansas City Chiefs. And this season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Helzberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Helzberg.com for up to 50% off.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise, still working the crash. Kansas side of things, 635 southbound, the on-ramp from Kansas Avenue. Also, Overland Park, that's a stall causing big delays. 35 southbound at 95th, off to the left shoulder, wrecker on the scene. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Trent McDuffie from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back into the show. I wish I could explain to you guys how happy this call makes me. I really believe this. I think the game-winning touchdown catch in the game between Indiana and Penn State, I think it's the Michael Crabtree play. You guys remember what, that 2006, 2008, one of those years when Michael Crabtree had that incredible catch on the sideline and they beat Texas? I think this is the equivalent of that. Indiana is one of the greatest stories in the history of the sport. It's not hyperbole. Indiana had never won 9 games in a college football season. The most they had won was 8. They made the college football playoff last year. They might win the Big Ten this season. They're 10-0 undefeated. They're basically a lock to make the playoff this season. They are on one of the greatest year-and-a-half runs from a non-power school that we've seen. I'm not saying this is the U. I'm not saying this is Nebraska or USC. We've definitely seen dynasties. But if we're talking about one of those other programs, I mean, this is basically like KU in 2007, where they went to the Orange Bowl, and then the next year they were in the national championship. That's what Indiana is currently doing. And this call from Gus Johnson, I mean, it sets up the moment so well.
Mendoza in trouble! It's out! Touchdown! Wow! A Bronco play! Unbelievable! Give him the Heisman Trophy now!
I love Gus. I understand how people find Gus to be slightly annoying, but I will tell you this. There is not a single broadcaster that if you are telling me the game is going to be close and it's going to come down to a fun and exciting finish, there is not a broadcaster I would want on that call more than him. He ain't the best. I think Harlan's the best. I think Ian Eagle is incredible. I know that you guys like to give Joe Buck grief. He is amazing. But Gus, for a college basketball game or a college football game, if it's coming down to the last drive like this Indiana game was, I mean, this was a 24-20 game. Indiana gets the ball down 4, less than 2 minutes to go on the road, and they put together a 10-play, 80-yard touchdown drive with one of the best catches you'll see a college football player make. Like the body control to get 1 foot down to hold on to it, that is an incredible catch. There's not a single human being I will want to describe that moment more than Gus Johnson. He went full Gus. That wasn't half. That wasn't 3/4, Rob. That was full Gus Johnson. I love it.
I mean, that game, honestly, first off, the game was incredible. You're right. We talk a lot about with college football, Heisman moments. And I know the play is a better catch than throw. Explain to me how that's not Mendoza's Heisman moment. Like when it's New York and I don't know what day they give away the Heisman, the 7th of New York, and I don't know what day they give away the Heisman, the 7th of December. It's whatever. All the guys. Mendoza's like the end of his clips of, and that was Mendoza from Indiana, is that play. Now, maybe there's another play still on his horizon, which would be incredible, but that was his Heisman moment. I cannot believe he's not the betting favorite on your local betting app.
It doesn't even make sense to me how he's not the favorite.
I feel like at this time last year, Travis Hunter wasn't the favorite, and I feel like me and you were both like, head to FanDuel and make some money.
Yeah, he's the best college football player in the country.
I feel that way about Mendoza. Head to FanDuel and make some money, because I think they are incorrectly making Julian Sayin the leader in the clubhouse. When Julian Sayin not only does he not have a moment like Mendoza had on
He doesn't
Saturday,
have a moment, period. Like, not at all. He does not have a moment.
I know he beat Texas. Does anyone remember anything about that game with an arch being bad? It wasn't like Julian Sayin was out here just dropping dimes. No, it just was an ugly game that Texas lost and Ohio State won. But it wasn't because of Julian Sayin. And since then, he's beat up Penn State. He put it on Purdue. Super. And maybe he'll have a great game against Michigan. They'll finally, slay that demon. But Mendoza is the Heisman Trophy winner, and he showed it on Saturday against Penn State.
It kind of crazy how much it shows like we move on from guys. I mean, Jeremiah Smith these last couple of weeks has just been – Jeremiah Smith has been amazing. He had 6 catches for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then last week he had 10 catches for 137 yards and a touchdown. Like, Jeremiah Smith has been, as advertised, he's the best wide receiver in college football. All right, let's talk a little Kansas basketball. Now, I already got my digs in earlier, so I'm not going to dig at them. I'm not going to dig that KU is 15-14 in their last 29 games. I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to ask you this question, Rob. How many good players do you think they have? And I only ask that is maybe in this new NIL world, I have to adjust my thinking about Kansas because I am used to KU being able to just beat you over the head with talent. I'm used to KU having 3 or 4 future NBA guys that are starting, and then they got 1 or 2 NBA guys that are coming off the bench that it's not their time yet, but if you stay and listen to Bill, you will be an NBA guy. And maybe that is just not the era of college basketball that we live in anymore. We just got to live with it. But just watching this KU team, I think they got 3 good players. I think Darren Peterson is special and has a chance to win the Naismith Award. I think Flory is a very, very good big. And that's a rarity. The fact that you have a young big that one day is going to play in the NBA, that is not common around college basketball. There's just, God didn't make that really many talented 6'10", super athletic, can protect the rim human beings. There's not that many of them that walk the face of the earth. And then I think the Bryson Tiller kid can play. I think that's kind of it. In terms of like being special, game-changing kind of players. Now, it's early on in the season, so I'm not burying KU by any means. But like, this KU team just doesn't feel like overly talented to me. It feels like it's Darren's got to be special, Flory's got to be really good, and in 2 months, we'll find out which of these guys play really well around Darren Peterson, and those are the guys you're going to go to battle with. But right now, when watching them, I've watched a game and a half of KU. They got 7 decent players on their team. They got 1 great player, 1 really good player, another solid player, and then after that, I have absolutely no clue what KU has.
I think what you're explaining is a college basketball thing more than it is a Kansas thing. And that's not to say you're wrong. I agree with you. Kansas, that when I was in school, was bringing Jeff Withey as a 9-man off the bench and a team that lost in the Elite 8. It was like, man, they're bringing Withey back next year. He's a good 9th man off the bench last year. That's not what this Kansas team is. But I think that's just what college basketball is. Like, I pulled this up. I wanted to pull up last year's national champion, Florida. Florida was obviously the best team in the country last year. Do we think they went 9-10 deep with super talent? They had Walter Clayton Jr., who's a star.
Who was amazing.
Really good. And then they had a bunch of just role players to surround them with. Like, I know in the postseason, we all fell in love with Martin, the combo guard. It's not like Martin, we were talking about him like he's, oh, man, they have 2 elite. That's not how we were talking about it.
They had the one big kid Condon, too. Yeah, that was about it.
But that's about it. It wasn't like, oh, man, their 7th guy was really tearing it up. Can you believe Will Richard came off the bench and gave great man? That's not what they were. I think about Houston, who was in the title game last year. They were a really good starting 5 that was built together. But if you got into their bench, they were vulnerable. I think that's just college basketball now. And I'm obviously not going to bury Kansas. It's November. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. People haven't even bought their turkeys yet. I think what Kansas did, I still think on paper in the offseason, made sense. Transcendent talent at point guard. They paid a lot of money to keep their 6'10", dunk everything, rim guarding center. And then they tried to surround him with athletes who can shoot. And in the first game that counted this season, those athletes that can shoot did not get to the rim. They did not shoot well. I don't know if that's going to be the case for 35 games this season. If it is, it's a bad miss in the portal from Self. But if those guys look like they're supposed to look on paper, I think building your team around the transcendent talent is not a bad idea. But it's also, you're right, if they get in foul trouble, like every team in the country, they're in trouble.
In trouble. And I also think it's important to note with Kansas, from a serious perspective, their schedule is about to get tough. They play Texas A&M Corpus Christi, a gimme game. They play Princeton at home on Saturday. Now they're going to beat Princeton. I'm not here selling you they're going to lose to Princeton, but they ain't rolling over Princeton. Not the Princeton that we know. Very disciplined, usually with older players. They run a very solid fundamental backdoor cut, do all of those things, all the basketball things correct. And then, I mean, they go on a stretch. Duke, Notre Dame, Syracuse, UConn, Mizzou, at NC State. There's not a lot of breathing room for these young guys. So as KU's trying to figure out their rotation, trying to figure out who you can believe in, who you can trust, who you're going to war with. So you're right. One of those games, they're just going to have foul trouble. That's how basketball works. So you are about to find out over the next 3 weeks who's really good on this KU team, because you just don't have, there's really no room for breaks. So I could see this KU team being 5-4 heading into that, closing out that stretch, but you feel really battle tested once you get to the Big 12, and that's when you expect to get going, just because of how this team is coming together. Coming up in just a bit, we're going to get you ready for Monday Night Football if you can watch it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
Landman, TV's biggest phenomenon, returns to Paramount Plus. From Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone, starring Billy Bob Thornton.
You have to know the rules of the game and bend them, and you really have to know them to break them.
Demi Moore.
I want success. Get it for me.
Andy Garcia, Ali Larder, and Sam Elliott.
You don't even know the game you're playing, do you?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount Plus.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This holiday season, Target has your back with irresistibly cool gifts for everyone on your list. For the trendsetter, start with affordable beauty kits and gift sets. Need something the whole fam will love? Grab snuggly matching fits in every size and style. And for the thrill seekers, don't forget the hottest toys and tech of the season. Target's got you covered with the best deals for endless fun. Shop in store or online. And step into the holidays with Target. Restrictions apply.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching.
Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Well, we're in the heart of football season, and the players, they got to be on their game and at peak performance and ready to go when it matters most to try and get a win on Sunday, Saturday, whatever time of the week they play. You also have to be ready and confident where it counts. I'm talking about Blue Chew, a small chew for a big difference. Day and nights just got longer and better for everyone because showing up matters during life's most exciting moments. Turn oh no into oh yes with Blue Chew. It'll have you feeling fantastic. Be ready when she is. It's not just about performance. Confident where it counts. Give her group chat something to talk about because nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use our promo code KFNZ at checkout. Just cover $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com and get your first month free. BlueChew.com and get your first month free. A small chew for a big difference. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. Saturday, December 6th, 2 shows, T-Mobile Center. Reserve seats on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss this season's most exciting concert experience. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Park & Go. Your holiday travel made easy with all covered airport parking.
Heading out of town for the holidays? Make travel easy with Park & Go. Enjoy all covered parking, free shuttles, and luggage help that'll have you feeling merry and bright. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Happy holidays from Park & Go.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Centric. New problem up north, and it's a 2-car crash. 169 highway northbound as you approach 29. Left lane is blocked near Overland Park. The stall is finally up on the wrecker. A few minutes to unwind now. 35 southbound as you approach 95th. Technology isn't slowing down, and neither is the demand for cybersecurity at Centric. Kansas City's only school built just for tech. You can launch your IT career in as little as 4 months. Why IT opportunity? Why Centric? Proven results. Start today at Centric.com, CENTRIQ.com. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
The only place in town to hear the hypothetical button game is on The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, you're right. You're right. I want you to understand that I understand that you are right. But it shouldn't have to be that way. Carrington, what are you talking about? I pay Spectrum every month for my internet. Direct deposit. It's on auto pay. It's been on auto pay for years. I don't even think about it. I have to have the internet. How else am I going to watch television? How else am I going to play the game? You need internet. You need Wi-Fi. Every month without fail. I ain't missed a month. I also pay YouTube TV. Again, every month. It's a package deal at this point. So when you guys are telling me, oh, well, you can still watch it, but you got to do X, Y, and Z, I'm thinking to myself, but I've already done that. Right now, it's about the principle. I mean, I can still watch Monday Night Football today. No problem. I know the exact website to go to. Boom, boom, pull it up on the Fire Stick. Go. I know how to do it. The point is, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to treat Monday Night Football, Eagles, and Packers. I shouldn't have to go to the sports bar to watch it if I don't want to. I shouldn't have to drive to Hollywood to go to the sports book if I don't want to, because I've already paid for it to be on at the crib. We'll just get an antenna. I don't want one. I want it to just show up on YouTube TV like it always has. Something's got to give at one point. This is what's going to happen. And I hope Google understands this. Maybe they just don't care. They make so much money. They have their hands in so many things. At this point, Google has replaced the word search. Think about that. We use the word search for generations. And one day we just decided we're done using it. We just call it, why don't you Google it? Think about that. You used to go to Yahoo or Ask Jeeves or all of these other websites. Bing. Now we just Google. Just Google it. That's how powerful they are when it comes to pop culture. So maybe they don't even care. But they are running the risk that there are people right now that are tired of this and have just made the decision to move away from YouTube TV. And whenever they tell you, hey, we're back, all your channels are back, there are a group of people that will never go back to YouTube TV. Never. You lost me. You lost me. I mean, that happens in things all the time. There was a point that you were watching a show, that you were into the show, and then one day something happened and you said, I'm out. I will not watch this show again. I don't care what happens on the show. I don't want to watch it anymore. That's how people are about to treat YouTube TV. That's what they're running the risk of. I mean, they've already done that with some people. That will continue. 2 weeks in a row. We haven't been able to watch college football. 2 weeks in a row, Monday Night Football. Last week it was the Cowboys. This week, this is the most important game in the NFC so far this season. I gotta pull it up on. I gotta pull this up on Stream East. Why? I gotta deal with pop-ups, and I just want to watch the game peacefully. I don't even care who wins anymore. You wanna know why I don't care? Because we lost. Doesn't matter if the Eagles or the Packers lose. We are the losers. You and I, my friend. Rob, I appreciate you. Thanks a lot for your help today. Shout out to my guy Cole DeRoos with How About Those Chiefs. Shout out to Darrell Wakefield with Kingdom Cast. And also shout out to Jason Dunn with the Chiefs Concerns podcast. We'll catch you guys tomorrow as we get you ready for Chiefs and Broncos. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve.